Take me to the channel for the PCP. Listen to some voicemails for the Minecraft stream. I really want to have Redcon funded by you. We can be procrastinators. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Procrastinators podcast. Ben Saint is here. Give and Take is here.
I have blisters on my fingers.
And despite the rumors of his death, Tom Oliver is here.
Oh no, I did die. I'm just here anyways.
People have been saying no Tom, no watch in the comments for years, and that will show them. They will have learned their lesson.
I'm glad they can finally watch an episode. Unfortunately, it probably won't be worth the wait.
Finally.
But, you know.
Our guest this week is my friend and partner in
lover
in various crimes, Krak EC.
Oh man, man! It's been a long time coming. I can't believe I finally made it. You may know me as the programmer behind Endless War back in the early days.
I was gonna say. Or the programmer of Endless War, or, I mean, more importantly, the creator of the acclaimed isthereanrv.com
That's
website.
Correct. My now world-famous, enshrined in internet history, isthereanrv.com.
Historic resume. Yeah, so it's fucking August 8th, 2021, I guess, and I am sure feeling it, if you know what I'm saying.
Where does the time go?
Where does the time go? I don't know what's going on. What's this week about? What's our podcast? Guys, wait a minute. We recorded 280 episodes and we don't even know what this show is about.
This show has a topic? No, it doesn't.
What's our mission statement?
To be as boring as possible and see how much money we can make doing it.
To fill the ears of our listeners while they do monotonous tasks, I guess.
To fill the hours between cradle and grave, baby.
To just wither away live on stage.
Yeah. I mean, it's a noble goal. Somebody has to do it. Would you rather be listening to ambient noise right now? Oof, that's so 2004.
I would rather be listening to a plot summary of a video game that I played when I was a child. That's what I would be doing if I wasn't on the PC.
God, if only you could be right now. Just escape all obligation and be baby again.
Just have some YouTuber explain to you the plot of Final Fantasy VII that you already know backwards and forwards because this is the seventh time listening to that video.
I don't know if it's one channel or just like a trend, but there's like X explained.
Oh, that's
just annoys me in concept. I just see them.
I mean, I've seen like the
sure you're gonna explain it, but I hate you and I want you to stop.
God, I saw recommended again that thumbnail of Lucas from Mother 3, and it's how Mother 3 breaks you, and I'm just, I fucking hate that thumbnail. I see it recommended all the time. I think it's
click
super
on the little dots and just be like, "Don't recommend video," and then you'll never see it again.
I gotta tell you. Speaking of Super Eye Patch Wolf, I happened to catch his little Dell saga, and this shit drives me insane because
I don't.
So he has
the saga.
The short version is he put out this like hours long video where he's crying and upset about having bought a computer and like the computer was both exactly what he ordered and a piece of shit.
Well, you bought a Dell computer, so
yeah. Well, right. He buys a Dell computer. He specs it down to the absolute bare minimum because he wants it to be as cheap as possible. And then he's like shocked that he doesn't have a solid state drive and that it doesn't work. It's not fast enough. And it's like...
And he made a whiny video about it?
He made this whiny video, but it's worse than that. This is a months-long saga where, like, the people in his Discord had been trying to help him, and he's just been ignoring their assistance. And it drives me crazy. He knows nothing, but he certainly knows everything, and it's his constant downfall.
The only thing he knows is that he doesn't like it.
I tried to watch a Super iPad. I liked his Scooby video. I remember liking the Scooby video. I tried to watch another Super Eye Patch Wolf fairly recently, and I was so disgusted by his delivery. His voice is so cloying. It's trying to like.
It's okay. It's fine.
Trying to get its hook.
It's
fine. It's
No,
not. It's like,
I agree.
Neither of us have any ground to criticize people's voices. All right, neither of ours are smooth and sultry. So
he does these
houses.
little like. Well, it made me feel. I don't know.
I don't
child
think
again.
that's an accurate representation of Super Eye Patch Wolf.
He does these performative little like whispery stops and like giggles, and it's like he's being all ooh
voice, that's for sure. He's
being all ooh at you, and like,
I don't
it's
know
sickening.
if he's
he's putting on a fucking show. He's putting on. I understand.
He's putting on a show on his YouTube show.
I know.
Whoa.
What I'm saying is, I really feel the artifice of it, and it feels very cloying and manipulative.
Sure.
That's my take.
The only Super Eye Patch Wolf video I've watched recently.
Nightmind has the worst video and the worst voice on YouTube.
Nightmind's voice is definitely worse than Super Eye Patch Wolf. Yeah,
I agree.
I watched Super
100%.
Eye Patch Wolf video on Space Jam. He did like his whole like Space Jam 2 leaked script, but it wasn't actually leaked script. It was just something he made up. It was a shit post, and it was hilarious. I loved it. Super good.
I mean, I feel like I don't know.
Whatever.
I liked that one video, but I don't know if I can get past it. But anyway, okay, so he's crying about his fucking computer. I remember, years ago I did that GoFundMe to get a computer, and you recommended me a bunch of parts, and somebody recommended me, and I I feel bad being like, oh, one guy fucked up. It's my fault. It's my fault for going against specifications, but someone recommended me a cheaper motherboard, and I decided, okay, I'll get the cheaper. Yeah, why not get the cheaper motherboard? And I did, and it completely ruined the whole thing. It just didn't work. It took me 6 months to get the computer working. I just had to buy the fucking better. You just got to buy the fucking.
Yeah.
It's like Naota says in Fooly Cooly when he's on the run with Haruko, and they're buying the ramen. You can't just go with the cheap brand just because it's jumbo size. You got to stick with the good stuff. Like I said. And he was right.
And it was literally like you tried to save $50 and it cost you 6 months of your life.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Point of order. Always get a decent motherboard and a good power supply. You will thank yourself 100% of the time.
This is why
absolutely.
This is why I hate to endorse a company. But I genuinely get so much out of my fucking Instacart subscription. It costs me like $100 a year, and I never have to go grocery shopping, and it's amazing.
Yeah, especially
that's like
for
that's
you,
like $10 a week.
Where
it's pretty good.
You don't.
That's like tens of hours saved.
Yeah. It's like a huge hassle for you to go to the store. I could see that being like gigantic and life saving.
It's paid for itself like so many times over. It's a miracle. It's great. It's really great. What's that saying? I've heard some people say like when you're is it like when you're young, like you spend time to save money, and then when you're older you spend money to save time.
That's my saying. I said that.
Did you say that? Wait, really? I thought someone smart. Said it. Excuse me.
One of those world famous given quotes.
I swear I said it somewhere.
It's absolutely true.
Yeah, it's very true.
Damn, since time is money, if you can ever find a way to spend money that will save you time, but you save more time, the value of the time that you save is worth more than the money that you spent to save the time. That's how you fucking hack your life. That's like the fundamental principle of life hacking or something. That's how you get on top of your shit. Yeah.
Speaking of Eye Patch Wolf and weird voicings, whatever happened to Nerdwriter? Is he completely gone, or is he just still making videos that nobody ever sees anymore?
I bet. Without even looking into it at all, my gut feeling is probably that, he had his heyday. He became as successful as he was ever going to get on YouTube. And then some fucking corpo company, like, hired him in some kind of, like, some kind of like managerial position or something off of his reputation, and now he just works for someone like that and makes way more money than he would ever make on YouTube, and we'll never hear from him again.
Well, I'll tell you then.
He made a video a month ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I had not heard anyone talk about Nerdwriter in like a year or more.
He still gets
I
decent
thought
views.
he was gone.
I guess it's just one of those like YouTube is so big that there's entire like juggernauts of industry that you can completely miss if you're not in the right algorithm circle.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting how quickly you can forget people exist if you just like click a couple things on YouTube. Like I like got rid of a lot of like political stuff on my YouTube because I was sick of seeing it. Because I already know the world's bad. I don't need to hear about it. And I just forget. I'm like, oh yeah, Vosh exists. I haven't seen Vosh's face in like 8 months.
Vosh, man, I mean, he was all over Twitter yesterday. I can't escape
I didn't even
him.
know. I didn't even know. Forgot he existed till literally right now.
It was because there's a picture of him like hugging fucking Charlie Kirk and Tim Pool. That everyone... Okay, honestly, it was actually kind of funny. It's actually kind of funny because everyone was analyzing it like... They were drawing like the lines of like who's leaning into who. They were drawing the alpha lines and they were comparing their stances, like who's the most alpha in this situation. And Justin Wang was like, Tim's line is the most alpha, but also he lacks cock confidence because he's got his hands crossed over his crotch. So that's kind of a wash. Not sure what to make of it. It was actually pretty funny.
I've been keeping up with Veush, and the reason he was all over the place on Twitter was because he did that debate with Charlie Kirk on Tim Pool's show, and it was apparently really well done for, like, you know, bridging the gap or like getting Tim Pool fans to be more left-leaning or whatever. So yeah, big news, I guess. I mean, Charlie Kirk is like he's like a politician or something. He's like some sort of a guy.
He's a radio personality.
I thought before he was
like
on like
radio
the Trump campaign
talk show
or something.
Host or something. I don't think he's an official, like, he's not an elected official or anything.
Well, I don't know anything.
I thought he was like
a media guy.
Another media guy. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't look at that shit anymore.
He's the Turning Point USA guy. I thought, right?
Maybe.
Oh, yeah. He's not the guy from 2.5 Men? Is that
no? If only. That would have been a much more interesting debate.
The guy with the tiny face.
Is that the name of the image where they're all hugging each other?
That's what I'm saying.
Charlie Kirk is so tall. He's like Vosh is like a kind of tall guy, and Charlie Kirk fucking towers over him. He's like 7 feet tall. It's insane.
No offense to Tom, but I don't trust people that are that tall.
I mean, I don't trust myself.
Absolutely. It's really funny because Vosh is like, he's kind of big, and he makes Tim Pool look tiny, and then fucking Charlie Kirk makes Vosh look tiny. It's a trip. It's wild.
It's like
human
seeing
morphology.
Tim Heidecker next to Mike Stoklasa, and then you realize how big Eric Wareheim must be.
Wait.
Do you remember when Tim Heidecker was on Half in the Bag? One of the earlier episodes?
No.
What? He was?
Yeah,
he was. He was the guy. He was like the manager of the game shop, right?
It's like
I don't remember that at all.
Well, you can rewatch it.
How have I not seen that?
There's an episode where they transition from being at Mr. Plinkett's house all the time to going back to the VCR repair shop for the first time. You see that set, and they come back and they're like, "Oh, Tim Heidecker is their boss." And you're like, and then he leaves. He jumps through the
Does it
ceiling.
end with like a shootout?
On George Lucas, Rich Evans as George Lucas comes in. He's like, "I'm gonna kill you, Mike and Jay, because of the Plinkett reviews." And then there's the whole thing. And then they kill George Lucas.
I didn't even know that was Tim Heidecker.
And Tim Heidecker flies away. And then they own the store. And then from there on, they do reviews in there as well.
Half in the Bag PCP University lecture when the lore is deep.
Yeah, I mean, it's deep, but it's fun to watch. You just watch it.
You know what? I mean, in terms, like, things with obscure lore, I mean, Red Letter Media, I mean, specifically Half in the Bag, does have a continuing narrative that nobody follows. you could probably do a lecture on Half in the Bag.
Maybe. I have seen people take like all of the skits from the beginning and ends of Half in the Bag and then turning them into Half in the Bag the movie, which is like a couple hours long. And there's like in parts. There's quite a lot of stuff still.
Wouldn't you rather spend a couple hours watching some socially awkward people talk about it in a room with a whiteboard? That just seems so much more entertaining.
Tempting.
My Sonichu lecture it got 70K views on its first week. It's gonna pass the Kokoro Wish lecture probably like a week and a half from now.
Well, considering the circumstances, it would be shocked if it didn't.
I mean, it is getting you know what, I'll just show the graph. I fucking love looking at these graphs. It is getting my other lecture, it's getting Kokoro Wish more exposure, which is the most important thing, obviously.
Of course.
Here's the relative views lately on hold on, let me put them here in the fucking chat where we all can see.
Wow, I didn't realize you posted the lecture on the Ben Saint channel.
Yeah, everyone's pretty stingy about their lectures, except for me.
Well, I only mentioned it because I thought you had way fewer subscribers on the Ben Saint channel, but it's like 19,000. I'm looking at it right now.
I've gained almost 1,000 since posting the video. I think I'm gonna hit 20K. Maybe like next week or something.
They're all going to be disappointed in 2 months when nothing else has come out.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll see.
Could you explain the colors on this chart we're looking at?
Yeah. Sorry. The blue there is Sonichu 102. The green is Sonichu 101. Purple is Kokoro Wish. Orange is Tails Gets Trolled. And red is a chat with Chris Chan Sonichu, the stream.
Damn.
So as you see, you know, historically, Sonichu 101 has been topping everything, and then, you know, Sonichu 102 has propelled itself and Sonichu 101 up to heights, and it's pulling the other two lectures up with it. They're getting maybe like 500. Those lower ones are getting maybe 500 views a day at the moment or something. So that's going to squeeze out some more attention.
Could you rescale this logarithmically so we can really see those differences? Look at the trends closely.
I don't know if there's an option for that in the actually. Okay, I can set. I can't do logarithmic, but I can make it a bar graph.
Whoa.
If that would if that would do it for you. No, sorry, my options are limited.
Can you do a pie chart?
I can.
Can you do a Venn diagram?
I can. Wait.
Just a giant Venn diagram of viewers who've seen Christery 101, 102, right, and Kokoro Wish.
I have one more interesting, debatably interesting graph to show. These are views over time for Sonichu 102. As you can see, sometime on the fourth day, it started getting a bump, and it basically had like a renewed spike of viewership. It's not even slowing down. It's debatably only accelerating. So
yeah, it looks good. I mean, it looks totally linear to me. It looks pretty good.
That's a good.
Well, you see, after four, it kind of started to flatten, and then it was like, nope, not flattening. Oh yeah, baby, this shit's gonna be around forever, changing the YouTube landscape.
I noticed you on Twitter you made a PCP lectures tier maker tier list thing.
Yeah, I did, because I made one the day before for Down the Rabbit Hole, because nobody had made a Down the Rabbit Hole tier maker before, and I was talking to someone about those, and I was like, man, the Chris Chan Down the Rabbit Hole is pretty bad, but the Henry Darger Down the Rabbit Hole is amazing. I wonder if I could place the others on a spectrum in between, and I could. And then I decided to do it because people always argue the most contentious ones are like spirit science. Some people really like the spirit science one, and other people really don't. Some people really like the Kingdom Hearts lecture, and some people think it's overrated. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a fucking Wait, I'll post the image of my tier list.
So wait,
there.
is the tier list your personal opinion or based on what you believe to be correct in a larger sense?
You mean like no? This is my personal opinion. These are my personal opinion. It's not.
I think I did one. But it was sort of, I don't know. I didn't find it particularly interesting where I placed the lectures. I hadn't seen them in a while anyway.
I put Tom's lectures in A tier, and some of the comments are like still disagreeing. They're like, it should be higher. They're like, Animorph should be number 1 of S tier. It's not enough to merely put it in S tier.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it does. It's a strong contender.
They're
Tom,
good.
you have done 2 lectures, and as far as I'm concerned, they're both A+. You're 2 for 2 with the hits.
I can't wait to let everybody down with the third one. I don't know what it will be, but it'll be something.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I would do if I was going to do another one.
You don't know what you don't know what it would be? I thought the usual scheme is you say it was recorded already, and it's coming soon. And you just do that for a few years. True.
Wait, the real Brony stories on A tier. Is this just because you were there to experience in real life, or did it actually get released somewhere?
Nope.
No, it did not get released. I
put
that in as
you can lord it over everyone that like it is good.
I kind of just put it in there as a troll.
Where did this thumbnail come from?
I just mocked it up and made it because I was like, hey, what if I just put in a fake thumbnail for a video that doesn't exist?
Than I was expecting for a fucking.
No, I mocked up a fake thumbnail just to put it in there and get half of it cut off on the. That's true. I did. It was worth it.
It was pretty good. It's a shame none of you will ever be able to see it.
It was pretty good, and people have asked me. I saw somebody asked Nate about it, and Nate said he didn't think people were missing out on it, and I don't agree. I think it was good. I think that anyone who was a PCP fan or a Trixie fan would like it because it's basically about our personal history in the Brony fandom. So I think it was a good.
If you would rate it,
I might be a little biased. It might be low A tier, high
No.
tier. I think
if you had rated it less than A tier, it would be an admission that people weren't really missing anything, and that's unacceptable. I wouldn't admit that.
Absolutely. You know what? You're right. You know what? Absolutely true. I
appreciate you putting the Vriska higher than 2 of Nate's lectures and Munchie's Spirit Science.
I think Vriska. Honestly, I think maybe it should have been low A. The thing that I don't like about Final Fantasy and One Piece, I don't think those are good lectures. I think the Kingdom Hearts lecture is a really good lecture. I think Final Fantasy and One Piece are not good. They're too long, and they're not they're too long, and what they're about is not something that demands a lecture. I think the Vriska lecture, it is kind of surface level, and it's not very in depth, and it's kind of short. But I like that it's short. And what it does cover is lecture worthy. So I think the
special sauce for a good lecture is when it's like really in depth, but also it's like unraveling some mystique. Like Final Fantasy and One Piece are so mainstream that it's easy to find information on them. Like where else are you gonna get Kokoro Wish broken down in that kind of extreme detail? That's the magic.
On the one hand, you could say, well, people say, One Piece doesn't need a lecture, just read One Piece. I guess you could technically say that about Kokoro Wish. You can just go and read, Unicorn Jelly if you want to.
It was about more than just Unicorn Jelly, though. It was kind of about the author
nobody's gonna...
and like their kind of like meta journey on top of everything, which adds so much to it.
I think specifically the lecture format. It works best as a way to explain something, because otherwise you could do a video essay where you just talk about something with editing and stuff. The audience being there, reacting to the crazy shit is the fun part, because the person telling the story gets to tell something wacky happened with Tails Gets Trolled or Kokoro Wish. It's like, whoa, and people pog in real time. And it has a certain energy to it. If you're explaining like the plot of every single Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII.
Every single
Final Fantasy.
Every
Just
single Final
wait
Fantasy
like 5
VII.
more years and we'll be at that point. Like we
Oh
already.
my god, there's gonna be more. There is. Oh no.
We're gonna have Final Fantasy VII
Oh,
Vanilla,
yeah.
Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy VII Battle Royale,
Mint
which
chocolate.
is real, unfortunately.
How long is it going to be till the next installment of the remake?
Like in December 10
Those
years,
are coming out in
probably.
like
Something insane like that, right?
But like the Final Fantasy stories, they have like poggers moments within them, but they're not as ridiculous as like the story of Chris Chan and Sonichu. Some of those things.
There's also like there's a
yeah.
functional purpose too to having the audience, because when you're explaining something so esoteric and dense, when you're the person who knows it, you tend to kind of like make assumptions just almost by accident because like you're so deep in it. So like the audience is there to ask questions that you would get in the comments that can be answered in the material itself, which is really helpful.
There's one point in I included Tectonic Improv's Atop the Fourth Wall one because I think it's you know it's as good as a PCP lecture. I like that the subject matter. I think Atop the Fourth Wall is the perfect kind of thing. So I included it, but it's got a moment in it that is maybe like the downside of the lecture form, which is like one of his friends that he gets to like sit in the audience. One of his friends like gets annoyed and like heckles him at one point, and they have like a little like moment where you can tell they're like genuinely mad at each other.
I missed that. I didn't watch all the lecture. Apologies to Tech.
I could be.
That's really funny.
I could be reading. I could be reading too much. I don't think I'm reading. There's a moment where they get kind of pissed. Like she's like,
have to go back and
that's
revisit
the risk
it.
you run. That's the risk you run. It's a good lecture. I like it. And then fuck. Yeah, I don't know. Rowdy Fuckers Cop Killers lecture. I felt bad putting it in low tier, but the video quality and the audio quality are really unfortunate on that one, and I really liked making it, but the quality makes me a little bit embarrassed about it. I mean,
when did that lecture come out? Like, what is that up to?
That came out. We did RFCK Con February of 2020, and I think it came out like not too long after that. So that's like, that's as of like February 2020. So a year and a half ago.
So it's pretty much caught up on everything significant that ever happened, because there's supposed to be the season 4, right? Like, what's the deal with season 4? Is that happening? Is that coming out soon?
It is on. We're in season 4, and by the way, the name of the generation of people that joined during season 4 is Foreskins, which is pretty good.
Pretty good.
I learned that the other day. It is going on. Server's still active. People are still going at it in there.
Yeah, I know. I dip in every so often, and I just am overwhelmed by all of the people being active, being people I don't know who they are, and I just leave.
Did that Newgrounds video give it a bump? Because I saw that on the front page of Newgrounds. It got front page.
It definitely did.
Some people did.
It definitely gave it a bump.
It was a good video.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Not as many as it should have, because it didn't get as many views as it deserved.
Well, Newgrounds unfortunately doesn't have a lot of like raw traffic, but what are you gonna do?
I mean, that's on YouTube too, where it
is
also
it? I didn't know. I just saw it on Newgrounds.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's easier.
Oh yeah, no, it's on YouTube.
Wait, did you just find it randomly?
Well, no, it got front paged on Newgrounds.
That's right.
Like a couple weeks ago.
Really? That's how you found it?
Yeah, it was on.
You just saw it
on the front page.
You just happened to see it on Newgrounds.
Well, no, I mean,
what
they do is they front page things on. They do daily front pages and they do like spotlight weeklies, and so it was front page the day I was there, and so I was like, oh, there it is.
Yeah, I know. I just think it's funny to me that like you found it organically instead of like seeing me like retweet it or something like that.
I did not see. No, I found it organically. It was super cool. I was like, wait a minute, I know those guys. It was great.
Wow. Yeah. Shadok's YouTube channel has like 100K subs. But I think they're I don't know if they're I think
they're non-binary.
I genuinely don't know. I've never spoken to them like in voice. But they have they did like fan animations, right? I think that was what they
they
built
got
their subs on. So
stuff.
So it's the difficult
swap,
transition of moving from fan content into like original content. I mean, I guess RFCK is fan content, but it's not like it's not about like a big mainstream property or something, right? So it had that burden upon it. I hope that it eventually sees a wider audience. It's so good. It's such an impressive piece of animation. I don't know.
It's really, really well done.
It's gorgeous. Yeah. And we talked about it last week, and I forgot to put the link in the description, but I fixed it. A commenter pointed out that I didn't put the link in, and now it's there. I'll put it in again. Eleazar, put the link top of the description. It's important. What were we talking about? Tier lists?
Tier lists for the lectures, yeah.
Down the rabbit hole. Yeah. I just was like, I was just imagining, like, man, imagine you're just some guy, just some PCP head, and you see this tier list, and you're going through it, and you get to the Real Brony Story thumbnail, and you're like, wait a minute, there's a thumbnail. It has to be real. I didn't know this was out. I have to find it. Where does this thumbnail come from? I hope I confused at least one person with it, and caused righteous indignation. Yeah, and caused righteous indignation when they realize, like, wait a minute, it's not out after all. Ugh, God, I'm fucking mad. Me too, bros.
If we ever do another RadCon, I'm going to make sure to have my phone record every lecture just in case one of you guys gets cold feeds. Like, I don't want to release it. I'll have the cam version. I'll put it on a torrent site so people can get the illegal cam rip of the lecture.
Like, literally like a theater, like phone recording.
Exactly.
With people's heads in the foreground.
Could you imagine if that actually existed for the Brony lecture? It would be hilarious.
Oh, it would be perfect. Oh, if only we lived in such a world.
No. I asked Victor if he had like the footage, and he told me no. I didn't keep a copy. I just gave it to Trixie.
They were huge files. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, they shot in like high definition, like 2-hour long videos with like audio,
like
and
a
stuff.
pro camera that was like bigger than my
red
head.
cams, 8K.
Yeah,
raw and compressed.
Dude, we had to
like the fucking
Krak. We had to buy hard drives for every single
second.
person. We had to next day order them from Amazon just so we could bring the files home. They were massive.
Yeah, totally unnecessary.
Yeah,
but we did it.
Could have just recorded them on a fucking iPhone. It would have been fine. But
probably. Well. I mean, that's what we did with RFCK lecture, and it was.
I take it all back.
Well, and we didn't record it. You can tell the difference, so it was probably worth it.
Oh, I remember now. In the RFCK lecture, was that when you chipped your tooth again?
Yeah, that's when I
had to turn it off. It was terrifying. It was too much for me. You can't have body horror in the middle of the the lecture.
I mean, you can't see my chipped tooth or anything.
It's so on brand for RFCK though.
I do.
It is.
I do. I pick up a piece of poster board and I bite it with my teeth and I tear it and then there's like 5 minutes where Munchie is talking and I'm kind of like more quiet than usual and I'm occasionally just kind of like touching my mouth and being like, what
happened?
Like, and then I announce like, hey guys, I just broke my tooth on the thing, but don't worry, like the lecture will continue. We don't have to stop. Let's just keep going.
Jesus. That's professionalism.
That's what I did.
There.
Absolutely. I was there to do a job. God damn it.
All $0 of that
job. You know what? I think maybe it's a little unfair to put it in the bottom tier. Yeah, the quality, the audiovisual quality is poor, but it is genuinely informative about like what is the deal with RFCK, which is the most valuable thing. When I was doing the down the rabbit hole, I made the tier list for that, and then I made my own tier list. And like one of my biggest criteria for that is like how much did I learn from it, which is why I had to put good ones like the Final Fantasy House and the Time Cube down in like C tier because like I already knew about them. I didn't learn that much from them, so I didn't like them that much. There's nothing wrong with them, but I had to. RFCK lecture, it's a very niche topic, but if you're interested in it, it is genuinely informative. So maybe it should be in B tier, actually. Yeah.
See, the biggest problem with the RFCK lecture is that it spits in the face of RFCK because it has audio and visuals. You should have just talked into its speech-to-text program and just put it in a paste bin. And that's how you experience the RFCK lecture.
That's probably true.
I mean, that's what Shidaka eventually did, right, with LoveWeb.
You should have had to download it as a like .txt file from like a MediaFire download or something. Yeah, the lecture itself should be like lost. Like you literally have to like join the Discord and find like a hidden channel, complete a quest to get some role to find a hidden channel to find the download link or something.
Sounds about right.
Oh well, maybe next time. For RFCK 102. Explaining seasons 3 and 4. Why not?
Okay. Right. So what happened in season 4? What do we got? Is there like a big story point? Is there some great new gameplay?
There was
nothing.
I know there is.
Happened.
Okay. I don't there is a story, there is lore, and there are gameplay ramifications, but I am not like qualified to explain them. I don't know all the details of them, but yes, those things are there.
Yeah, I think I heard there was some kind of election going on to replace the rowdy fucker.
Oh yeah, the rowdy ringleader. Yeah, they're having an election for rowdy ringleader.
Laura Ghost should swoop in right at the last second.
Absolutely. Now is the time.
Lord of Go, you gotta finish the comic real fast in time for the election.
You've got to use all that Kickstarter money to fund the election campaign.
Yes. Yes, I'll embezzle it publicly.
Based. I have been proud to report that I have started working on the game again, Phantom's Revenge, and as I said on Twitter, the recent news about Chris will not impact it whatsoever. It changes nothing about the plan or how the story was going to end. So I'm just gonna keep plonking away at that. By the way, have any of you seen like the new news about that's going around on Reddit and stuff?
I saw an image compilation of the girl who had the phone call that was leaked. Yeah. And they found out that she's like a psycho. I don't know how true it is, but it seems to fit.
If it's true, I called it, because in the call where Chris admits to what was going on, she's clearly like enjoying it and like excited about it. So it's not. It doesn't surprise me. I said on Twitter, I was like, whoever was doing this seems they're guilty of incitement. Like it really sounds like they like caused this to happen in some way, and it seems like that's true. So I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, something about like the phone
if it's
call,
true, I don't know.
Like egging Chris on to do the her mother, to use that as blackmail to make
bleep
Chris
that
Chan
out or we'll
kill
get
herself.
demonetized.
It's like, oh yeah, bleep everything I said. But yeah, that was what I heard. It's so fucked up that you would bother with that.
I mean, that's the story is that she's just some genuine psychopath who like just wanted to get Chris to kill herself for fun. That's what I've heard.
I mean, that seems like the end game of pretty much everyone on Kiwi Farms. It's I don't know. I don't know about that.
You know. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like that's sort of a place where people like that can pass as just like jokesters. Like not everyone is there doing that, but some people are, and they are indistinguishable from the rest. Yeah. So people actually do horrible, fucked up shit.
I do see people on Kiwi Farms sincerely saying like, don't fuck with them, leave them alone, just let them be lol cows and entertain us. And like some people are like that, but not everyone is like that.
Yeah, well, the people
And
saying,
they don't-
just leave her alone, it's gone too far, those people have been duped the entire time. They're the ones going along and saying it's funny, but the people who've been driving everything aren't going to stop because of them, and they don't care about them, That's
Right.
the purpose
Yeah.
of the website, is to drive these people further and further into whatever mess they're in.
Yeah, I mean, you're using people as your entertainment, so like you don't want the entertainment to end, so you're gonna keep pushing and goading them on further.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting. Wish they'd shut him down. 4chan too, but like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All you can do is cope and seethe.
I'm gonna. That's exactly what I intend to do. So I will. I saw Dick Masterson being even more of a sicko than usual on Twitter today, saying like the girl is a hero for exposing Chris. Just conveniently ignoring the fact that it kind of seems like she literally like caused it to happen. She exposed it after causing it herself. So that's...
he sounds like one of those dumb guys who's like, oh, okay, yeah, this is real fun, and then he'll have some point where he'll say, oh, guys, we shouldn't go any further. He's
Guys,
one of these dumb patsies, just like the rest.
Yeah,
of them.
that sounds about right.
What a fucking idiot.
Yeah, fucking gross.
Pretty unfortunate that he has such an audience.
Yeah. They're bad. Dick dupes are fucking low intelligence. I don't know. He's just a particular kind of sap, I think is vulnerable to that kind of messaging.
Yeah.
It's sad and you hate to see it, but it is what it is, I guess. I don't know. I guess that's whatever. Let's talk about something more uplifting. Oh fuck, I don't have anything.
Well, nah, I don't have anything uplifting.
No, there's nothing.
I've mostly been sick and trying to get better and playing video games, and that's not very interesting.
Wow. I went to Ohio to try and move. It didn't work. Moving's really hard.
I heard you were going to move to Ohio. That's what people were saying on the grapevine.
That is the plan. I'm going to have to move.
It's still the plan?
Yeah, it's just, you know how it is with moving. All landlords are evil, and they need to die in the revolution.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I guess I had. It was a huge hassle moving for me, and it's still gonna continue to be a hassle. I guess it could have been worse. I did manage to find. I'm housed for this month, and then I got a new place lined up for September. So
dope.
Yeah. Are you moving to Ohio because it's cheap? Is it cheap in Ohio?
It's cheaper there. I can get a studio for like $600, which is pretty good.
Wow. Yeah, that is pretty good. Damn.
But even that, it's like, because I was like, my plan initially, which was short-sighted, foolish, and ignorant, was like, I have $1 bajillion in savings. I'll just like use my savings to pay the rent. And they're all just like, we don't care if you have $10 million in savings. Make 3 times the rent in income or no deal. So
can't you? Well, I mean, you just need a cosigner then,
well,
right?
Okay, here's the thing. I have a friend out there in Ohio, and they were like, I'll be your cosigner. And they were like, well, your friends are going to be your cosigner. They need to make 5 times the rent. I'm like, oh my God. And they're like, they need to make.
Why?
I don't know. They were like, they need to make 5 times the rent. And then they were like, are they renting right now? I'm like, they pay rent. They're like, okay, subtract all their expenses. If they make 5 times the rent after their expenses, then they can co-sign for you. I'm like, so they have to make almost $5,000 to rent a $600 studio. And they're like, yes.
I mean,
which is insane.
I literally, I opened all my my emails to prospective roommates and or landlords with like, yeah, I know I'm like self-employed and that's like scary and like I don't have any and it seems really shady and you probably think I'm just a hobo and I have no guaranteed income, but whatever, I'll just have my parents co-sign, so just don't even worry about that. I mean because I know what they're gonna say. It's like, what, you're a YouTuber,
right?
I don't know about this.
Just trying to explain. Like, I've basically lost my EBT this month because Nate sent out those 1099 NECs last year. So then they realized I have income from two different sources, and they were like, "What the fuck is this? You have two jobs?" I'm like, "No, it's just really dumb the way the money works." And they're like, we're pulling your thing. You need to like break down month by month all your income, how many hours you work for each of these places." I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna be gone in a month. Never mind. So it's just a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Government logistics suck. Depending on who you talk to, the rules are different. I don't think there's any rules in the government. I think it's just like that you open up like the government rule book and it's just like whatever, man, and then 1,000 pages of nothing.
No, you know what it is. It's all just testing how tough you are. Are you gonna fight back? Are you gonna take him to court? You know, they're seeing if they can push you around.
I mean, I'm on week 15 of my 8 to 12 week waiting period for the pandemic unemployment hearing.
Yeah, sounds about right.
God,
it's
been 15 weeks since that? Are you kidding me?
It's been 15 weeks.
Jesus.
And I called 12 weeks ago, and they were like, "Well, normally we would escalate your case, but it's really hard to get contact with that office on a good day, and we're having technical problems right now. So I'll transfer you." And then the call immediately hung up after I waited on hold for an hour. And I was like,
our phone's not working.
I was like, okay. So at this,
man.
like the fine print on their thing is just like, if you don't pay, we're just gonna like deduct from your taxes. I'm like, I pay you in taxes, so good luck with that. Plus I'm leaving the state, so like come find me, I guess that's kind of my game plan right now. Is like, come fight me, bro. I'll lawyer up.
I was gonna stam. I made a joke about like Tom is like moving to Ohio to flee the tax man in Massachusetts, so I guess I was right.
I mean, it's not the primary reason, but it's an added bonus at this point.
Sure, okay. Base.
The only thing that sucks is I lose the 5,000 or so, not 5,000, maybe like $2,000 or $3,000 that I should have gotten since then to now in benefits, since the case hasn't been decided one way or the other. But yeah,
that's pretty cringe.
The state doing what it does best, making you wait.
The state doing what it does best, nothing.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
This is sort of I mean, it's related in that I'm waiting for some fucking corpo shills to get back to me. But I had like a week and a half ago, I had two people. It was a weird coincidence. Two people filled out the Vapors 2 Kickstarter backer like survey, like basically like reported their mailing address to tell me like where to mail their. Remember, you know, I did that campaign like more than a year, like almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, a long ass time ago.
And it's been like a year since anyone filled out a survey, and yet like two people on like the end of July just filled out their survey. But on Kickstarter, they don't just let you see your backer report. They give you like a certain period of time to look at it, and then they hide it from you as like a privacy measure. But you can request access to it, which I did. So I sent them an email. It's like, please let me see the backer report, because these two new backers just gave me their info, and I need to see that info to get them their shit. And they're like, I waited for a reply, and then I finally got one. And they're like, okay, I'll upload an image of your driver's license to prove it's you. And I'm like, sure. And I did. And now I'm still waiting for them to get back to me on that.
Shit, I didn't know that. I gotta copy that info.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Okay, because... This ties into the other thing I want to talk about, which is the Road to Radcon book, which I have gotten the cover art from Michi Fossard, and I have arranged it into printable PDFs, and I'm going to be sending those to the printer tomorrow on Monday. And I've ordered envelopes to send them out in, and because I knew from my Vapors Kickstarter, because I knew that they do this time limit thing, and I knew that we were going to have late backer fulfillment on the Road to Radcon book for the PCP Kickstarter, I went through and I like saved. I screenshotted everyone's like info so I could have it later. Everyone's like mailing address. So I can see the backers. So I have their addresses saved for shipping those out, but I'm still gonna have to like make an announcement because I'm sure in like the year since a bunch of people will have changed their addresses. So I'm gonna have to make an announcement being like, hey, if you live at the same place and you filled out your survey, it's okay. I'll send the book to where you were. If you change your address, don't update your survey because I can't see the survey anymore. Just send a message saying this is my new address, it's changed, and then I will send it to a new place. So I don't know why Kickstarter makes it that hard. It seems dumb. Probably like one guy at some point ran a scam to like harvest people's addresses using like Kickstarter backer surveys or something, and he ruined it for everyone else. And then they,
in the EU they have I think it's GDPR. They have really strict data protection
DRPK
rules. No. They have really strict data protection rules, and I wonder if it's related to their compliance there. Like if they can't work in the EU if they don't delete this data after a certain amount of time.
That wouldn't surprise me.
It's not deleted, it's just hidden, and they are gonna ring me out trying to get me to prove my identity before they'll show it to me, I guess. Man, but I put like illustrations. There's like illustrations in the Road to Radcon book because Michi did sketches. She did a cover sketch that had a bunch of the characters on it. And then she did like a final version. So the final version is the actual cover. But then I took the sketches and I kind of like picked them apart into the individual like characters. And so the blank pages between chapters in the book, they have the character sketches kind of like, one here, one there, one there. There's like 5 of them or something. Just kind of interspersed in there because I had to pad it out to make the number of pages a multiple of 4 because that's how like bookbinding works. I'm very proud of it, actually. I think it's going to be a really attractive little pamphlet, a little bespoke item that only Radcon 4 backers will have, unless we sell them to other people, which maybe I will, because why not? I'll probably have like 75 extra copies at the end.
That's true.
If anyone wants one, I'll fucking sell you that shit. I guess. I don't know. It's gonna be cool. I'm excited, and then all we have to do is get the music video out and the OVA, and then it'll be done. And then we can have Radcon money. Yes, and then we can...
Oh my god!
No,
you're right. We
Nate
still have a payday
to...
coming in from that, don't we?
And the Dojin.
Yeah, we still have like all the left. Oh, and the Dojin. I've got people working on the Dojin. Yeah, PCP payday, Radcon money is in escrow. It will all be liquidated, and it will rain down upon us. Like breaking a piñata. This is what it feels like. I'm doing all this work. It feels like I'm hammering away trying to break this piñata of the PCP Radcon money. Just break it up so it all just comes pouring down on top of us.
We all just scatter.
You're welcome.
All the candy.
Yes. All the PC pennies that come exploding out.
The whole market's down, so they're not worth as much as they used to be. But you do what you can.
It was a bubble. It popped. I wish it popped the piñata along with it.
I'm still.
So that's what I've been doing. That I was just wait one last. That's why I've just kind of gotten around to doing game stuff again. I was gonna spend this whole month doing game stuff, but I had to spend like the first couple days just finishing up the Road to Radcon book stuff. But it's satisfying work, and I'm excited about it. I don't mind it at all. Haha. Okay. Anyway, go on.
And I was gonna say I'm still waiting for the plush to be sent to me or to get here.
I'm so mad.
Are they made?
I didn't get to order one.
They're not made
so
yet.
fucking mad.
Oh well.
Yeah. Oh, Tom.
I know.
That's so unpog of you.
It's super.
I haven't ordered them yet, so there might
That's so Monka-esque.
There might be room for someone to
slip you a little cash on the side. A little.
Yeah.
Imagine not pluging. Imagine not being a pluger.
Dude. I had the tab open, but I got buried in fucking calling apartments and trying, because I figured out while I was trying to get apartments that my phone just doesn't take calls anymore. Like I was holding my phone watching. I was holding my phone watching a YouTube video. It's like a Pixel 3a. So like a little Android notification popped up. It says missed call. I'm like, didn't ring. didn't vibrate. It just like, you don't need to know you're getting phone calls, right? So I missed like a bunch of calls from people because it just doesn't let me know I get calls anymore. I'm just like, sick, awesome.
Curious. Now, are those all calls from Ohio area, or is that every call?
It really depends, because like I know some people in Virginia, and like they've called me. I've got notifications for that, but like sometimes Massachusetts, it's just like random. It works like it's like a coin toss. Will I get your phone call? It really fucking depends.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like some too smart for its own good spam detection kind of thing.
That sounds like an algorithm Google would implement without my knowledge.
Doesn't it?
Fuck me. I could probably look and see right now. There probably is some spam detection going on.
My phone is so bad, and it and I don't know what. Okay, when I'm out and I'm not at my computer, I basically can't type anything because something happened to like the autocorrect settings of my phone, and I've looked into how to fix it. I don't know how to. I've gone into all the options and I've turned like autocorrect off, and it doesn't do anything. It doesn't change this at all. But like when I'm trying to type in like Discord or on Twitter or something on my phone, the autocorrect is so aggressive that I literally can't type with it. It like I will tap. It does the thing where, you know, one button is assigned to like 3 different letters, and you have to hit the button 3 times to get to the third letter, right?
Fuck?
It does that. It does that.
Wait, I don't even know what you're talking about. Are you typing with a T9 keyboard in 2021?
What are you
No,
doing,
it's a digital. Listen, you don't understand. This is not a choice that I made. It just did this on its own, and I cannot
just download a different
figure out
keyboard.
How to fix. But
just go download Gboard from the Play Store. Just
I guess
this garbage
I could
keyboard
just,
you're using.
I'm just using the fucking Google keyboard.
Get a different one. Get like SwiftKey or something. Oh my god.
It's worse than that though, because it's that like you have to hit the button 3 times, but it's also autocorrecting to not even words, but like groups of letters. I will hit, you know, the button is assigned to like, you know, RQ or fucking QRST or whatever.
What?
So I'm trying to type an R, so I'll hit the button and it'll go to Q, and then I'll type it again, trying to make an R, and it will think like, oh, you're going for like a double T, and then it will just change to like two capital T's in a row.
I want a screenshot of what this keyboard looks like. This sounds arcane as fuck.
It looks normal. It looks normal.
But each key represents 3 letters?
You've never you know how like on a traditional like dial phone,
yes.
You know, so if you wanted to type a letter, you would use the number corresponding to that group of letters.
A T9 keyboard,
yeah.
So it's showing you the numbers with the letters behind them?
It shows me the numbers, and then on top of the number it has the 3, you know, like 1 is ABC.
Why are you using
so
a T9 keyboard on a smartphone?
It's just I was using the regular Google keyboard, and now it looks like this.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a button somewhere on the keyboard to like change the layouts. And you just need to hit the right button.
Okay.
You say that. I have given the phone to other people being like, what is it doing? How do I make it not do this? And no one I've given it to has been able to find, it feels like there should just be a button that fixes it.
On my old phone, I think I had Gboard, and I'm pretty sure I could change it to that mode if I wanted to. Like, I've seen this. I'm certain that this can be fixed.
I'm sure it can be. Okay, but I can't figure it out, and I'm not the only one. I've handed it off to people, and they can't figure it out either.
Fair enough.
But it's so the way that I've had to type on the reason I haven't fixed it is because I almost never do it. I almost never type stuff on my phone. I use my computer. But when I'm out, I have no choice but to use my phone. So the way that I have to do it is I have to hit one of the buttons, wait for it to show all of the letters that it could represent, and then select that in. I can't like type it with. I have to then select that letter from a side menu, and then before typing any, I have to hit space so that it like forgets that it's in the middle of typing a string of letters. Because if it knows that it's typing a string, it will try to autocorrect the string and just completely ruin what I'm doing. It'll change the letter that I'm currently typing to what it thinks I'm trying to type.
I can't. I'm looking through my keyboard
it's
settings now.
bad.
I can't find T9, but apparently you can set your keyboard to Morse code if you really wanted to. I have no idea why you
Good.
would.
It would be an improvement.
Yeah.
It would be an
Well,
improvement.
just go to settings, then go to languages, hit English QWERTY, and you can change the layout to handwriting, Quartz, Zerti, Dvorak, or
Man.
Morse code, baby.
Fucking
Ben, you should just
cool.
take this extra phone I've got. I've got this HTC phone that's really good. You could just have it. You just gotta come get it.
Please.
Come get it.
Okay. All right.
It's a trap.
Yeah.
Ben. He's luring you.
Luring. Damn, I feel like I had something else I was gonna say after the phone thing. I had like two topics in mind, and one was the phone, and there was another one. What were we talking about before the phone? Was it?
It
bureaucracy, government bureaucracy. I don't know. Whatever.
Best.
Kickstarter stuff. Road to
Kickstarters,
Radcon stuff.
Redman.
Tier list.
Redman.
Redman.
Tier list.
Redman's
I've
good.
derailed. I've completely lost track of what's going on.
Well, I'll chill and say I have commissions open right now. So
I saw.
Yes.
They seem okay. Yeah, I saw those models you were offering.
Yeah.
Does that include like textures?
yeah, it's a
Wow.
complete model.
That seems like a really good value.
I think it is. They're pretty low. I mean, I posted them in my Patreon Discord, and then someone's like, message like an hour later, like, "Oh, my favorite 3D artist open commission, and they start at $1,500." I'm like, I'm a bargain compared to that. You can get 10
Yeah.
models.
So okay. So does it include the modeling and the texturing and like an idling animation? Because they were moving.
The idle animation would be extra. I guess an idle animation would be.
Okay.
It includes a fully textured and rigged model with like a couple stills and a turnaround. So you'd get that, and then you can pay extra if you want a little animation under 6 seconds, and a bunch of other things like the whole. I'll put it in the chat. Here's the post with all the shit there. It's got all the
It
info
looks
there.
really cool.
It's,
By the way, I just want to say that Azumi that you showed, incredible. I love her.
it's so good. I'm so mad
one?
that I was like really hoping to like get more progress on the game done because I was working on a little thing in Unreal Engine, moving around and have like little jump animations and stuff. I'm like, oh, it'll be so cool if I can fucking show this. They have a big reveal, but I needed money because I found out coming home from Ohio that the move date was moved up from October to the end of this month. So now I'm just like super panicked and need money. So it's like, well, I'm just gonna be a whore and open up commissions forever now, I guess.
So the Azumi game is still a 2D game, right?
I was working on a 3D game, and it looked really cool.
Oh, I didn't even
because it was
know.
a secret.
I didn't
was
even realize
working on
that.
it in secret,
Oh.
but now the
Oh,
jig's
yeah,
up because I had to
yeah.
show off all the models that I was working on for it because I need money, and that was the only example I
you
had
know,
of a
I was-
complex model.
I was thinking I hadn't heard anything about a Azumi game in a little
Yeah.
while, and I guess that explains
There's
it.
a lot
So,
brewing.
mm,
It's all on the back burner
Mm.
now because I need a house / apartment.
in my opinion, 3D games are better than 2D
That-
games because there's more D.
There's additional D, and I want the D, so I want more.
Everybody does. That's what the people crave.
Yeah. Exactly.
I really
So-
like these. I'm looking at like that like the older models. That one like horned zombie with the big toothy mouth. I saw that before. These look really good. This
Thank
like industrial elevator looks awesome. It looks like something out of like Solid Metal Gear or something.
Yeah, I
It
feel like
Solid
looks really
Metal.
cool.
I figure like
Yeah.
I really got the PS1 look down. I feel like it's definitely there, which was the goal.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
for sure.
So
What did you show for
Congratulations.
Azumi? Oh, the other animations for Azumi you showed where they're running and the roll. The roll in particular looked so smooth. I really could imagine doing the jump and then rolling after a jump, and just imagining.
you want to know why it looks good? Because I modeled it after Dark Souls.
Oh,
I went frame by
really
frame through Dark Souls.
Of...
I was like, how did they do it? And I was like trying to get her to do it, but like it was really hard because I did it just like Dark Souls, and then I was like, I'll just use a blend shape to blend back into the idol, and it like didn't work, so I had to go back and like redo the end half of the frames to have her come back to that like actual kind of like ninja pose idol animation she stays in. It was a lot. Learned a lot. It was really interesting.
3D animation is so fucking confusing,
dude.
There's all those different little rotatory.
I opened up the graph
chickens.
editor for the first time and I cried. It was terrifying. Every single part of the skeleton has like 9 different graphs for each like rotation and location axis. And then you just open up the graph and there's like 500 lines and it's like, you need to manually adjust these. I'm just like, scary.
Oh yeah, the curve.
Yeah.
The curve fuckers.
Mm-hmm.
I could never.
We gotta flatten the curve.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you flatten the curve, you can right click, you can be like a straight line, please.
Yeah.
But then it's all jerky.
Yeah. If you're making Guilty Gear though, that's what you want. That's how you make it look like an anime.
Yeah.
Guilty Gear? Never heard of it. Hey, I watched those Woolly versus lore videos.
Yeah.
And at first I thought they were kind of good. But actually I don't think they're that good. Like they're just okay.
I watched the first one.
I think your lecture's better.
I haven't watched the rest of them. Well, yeah.
But I let the whole series play out in the background, and by the end of it I was like, he's just recounting the plot of the game. He's just giving a point by point, this happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened. It's the lecture. Your lecture is a better like top-down overview of the lore of the world of Guilty Gear. Whereas his are just a recounting of these are the stories in the games.
Yeah,
which is fine.
It's a different goal,
I guess.
I think there's that. Speaking of the lectures having like unique benefits, it's sort of like the difference between reading a textbook and then asking the teacher what the hell the textbook means and then getting an answer tailored to the question, because a lecture has more of that. Obviously, it's not the audience at home can't like ask questions and get them answered in real time. But when the audience, that aspect of it, it helps with some of the more confusing things that may just be hard to read, or just when you say them flatly in like a plot synopsis, you're like, I don't get how that follows. I don't get how it tracks. And you can ask the person in the lecture how.
When the audience is unfamiliar with the subject matter and they react in real time to like the surprising elements of it, that's really good. That adds a lot. And then when they're confused or when they notice like a contradiction or a weird element and they ask about it, just because it's like what they were thinking. For sure, some portion of the audience of the lecture at home is probably also wondering about that thing, right? If you thought of it and you were like, hey, what's the deal with that? And then you ask it, and then you get to the lecturer who doesn't have a written response to it, but they get to sort of opine and give their thoughts about like, well, here's what I think is the deal with that, or like, oh yeah, actually I wouldn't have mentioned it, but actually that is interesting, so I'll go on a little tangent about it. It's good. It's a good vehicle. It's sort of it's more. I think it's a more engaging than like a video essay format in a lot of cases.
Yeah,
adds a lot.
The freeform nature of it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Oh, Pog. I really should do more. That would be the thing to do, right? Based on like the kind of views that my videos get. It's very, very clear that what I should be doing with my channel is making more lectures about stuff. That's what the people respond to. But I have no idea what I would do one on. And also organizing them is really hard.
Prep. It's a lot of prep.
It's very hard. Yeah, and that's why only like 3 people outside of the PCP have done
it's important to realize, because a lot of people are just like, well, it's just a video essay. Why not just do it as a video essay? Like, why does it take so much work? It's like, because with the video essay, you have a script that you've written all out. You can retake things. We're doing these live off the cuff, pretty much. We just have like rough notes, and you just have to speak it all. You have to be familiar enough with it to talk about it conversationally, but keep the structure of a video essay. It's tricky.
Yeah,
something
I mean,
that
doesn't Victor have the teleprompter? He's holding up flashcards.
We're not. No, nobody knows about that. Cut that part.
Victor has the cue cards he hands out to the audience members when to laugh.
Yeah.
There's an applause sign just right out of frame.
Yep.
there's a riff. There's a sign that says riff to alert the audience to start riffing.
And in that one, like 360, the one that was the same. What was it? Your first one, Ben. We had the 360 camera. That version
lecture in 360. Such a stupid idea, but like whatever, sure, why not?
But like that one has like the cue cards as well, but they're always not where you're looking. It just so happens that it's hidden.
No, it's just like the moon landing. Apollo 11, they faked it, not real, and that's what Ben was doing in that one. That was the fake one. It was all pre-planned and everything. But Apollo 13, where they had all the problems, that was the real one. That's why it went so bad. They had to do it for real. It wasn't in Hollywood. And that's why they couldn't do the 360 anymore. You guys couldn't do the 360. You had to do it for real.
We blew our budget on the first one.
we had to make the lectures real. One thing that I don't think I could do a lecture on, but I think sometimes I think about doing basically a video essay about is that thing that old forum from the people that believed that Digimon were real, the real Digimon believers.
Yeah, you were talking about that way back.
Or the Digiclips.
Project Digiclips.
And yeah, I considered, even back like when I was about to do the Sonichu 101 lecture, I was thinking maybe I could also do one on the Digiclip.
At RadCon too.
I
was really hype about it.
Yeah. Well, I tried looking up information on it, and like a lot of the info that I used to have has been like scrubbed. Right. There was like when I learned about the Digiclips, you could the forum still existed, and I went to the forums and I read through the threads, and they were pretty funny. Now, like the only evidence that exists of it is the Something Awful thread, or the Something Awful post from years and years ago. So I think what I would have to do if I did that video is I could summarize like what's on the Something Awful thread, what was the deal with it, what happened, and then I think a big chunk of that video would just be me being like, hey guys, I can't prove any of this, but let me just tell you some really funny shit that I remember seeing from the real Digimon Believers forum, like in the aftermath of the Something Awful raid.
I don't know if that's really gonna be good. That doesn't sound that great.
Damn. I thought it might be funny, but okay. I mean, never mind. Bummer. I don't know. That's one of the like funniest stories of internet buffoonery that I have seen, and nobody talks about it. Probably because it's all like gone. The information
is it not like on archive.org or anything? It's just all been scrubbed for real.
I have tried to find I've tried to use like the Wayback Machine to go back and like look at the old forum posts, and I wasn't able to do it.
Damn.
Maybe one of these.
What a nightmare.
Maybe I'll try archive.
So what you're saying is that not only are the PCP lectures great pieces of art, they're also like cultural archiving projects.
That is precisely what I'm saying. Wait, is archive.org and Wayback Machine the same thing?
Yeah. I think the Wayback Machine's powered by archive.org.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Oh well. I just think the Digiclips is really funny. Okay, what else? How's everyone doing? How's everyone's life?
Man, you know what I wanted to talk about? I wanted to talk about
what's up?
The process of buying a house, because it's really fucking mysterious. I just recently went through it. I bought my first house. Pretty exciting.
Jesus.
Yeah, I've seen your update posts about the renovation.
Yeah. And it's like it's so much more difficult than you would even imagine, right? Like in order to buy a house, you go to like Zillow.com and you're like, oh, look at all these houses for sale. I can just
go on eBay.
I could just pick any one I want, and I'd like, hello sir, I'd like to buy your house.
One, millennial, stupidly, avocado toast, please. Me, nodding wisely, one house, please. It's just that.
But it's so much worse. So you have to, first of all, you have to find yourself a real estate agent, right? So you find your agent.
You have to?
Yeah, you need an agent. If you don't have they call it your buyer's agent. If you don't have an agent, you're fucked. You're not even going to get to see the houses. So that's like the first step. You find an agent, and then you find a house you want to look at. And you tell the agent, hey, can you talk to their agent and get me into the showing? Right? And you have to, every house is selling within like a few days. So you have to find a house, immediately email your agent, get the agent to set up a showing like the next day. And then you can put an offer on the house like the day after that. And the offer process, you would think like, okay, just tell them, yeah, I'll give you, you're asking $290,000, I'll give you $290, right? No. You have to find a loan officer, somebody who works for like a mortgage company, and then tell them what the house that you want to buy and what you think you want to offer. And then they have to pre-approve you for a mortgage for like a little bit more than that, but not too much more. Otherwise, it looks suspicious to the seller's agent. So you get this pre-approval letter, and they won't produce that unless you give them like bank statements and pay stubs for a couple of months of recent history. So there's this whole process, right? And if you manage to navigate this, you got your pre-approval, you put your offer in. You'll still fail. You'll still fail because if you offered 290 and they were asking 290, you're not even on the table. You're not even playing the game.
Is it like a game where like everybody knows that like you say 290, but it's like how much more than
exactly? It's this whole fucking game. Okay. So you go to Zillow or whatever, you see the price the house is listed, or Realtor.com or whatever. That's another thing. All of the sites are all pulling from the same one database. There's only one database of listed houses, and every like, oh, we'll find you a house site is just pulling off of the same database, and then they reformat it with their own CSS in some way. So that's a whole scam.
Wow. Capitalism sure does breed innovation, for sure. Right?
But yeah, every day I find a new reason to fucking buy a guillotine. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's crazy. They list their house for some number. They have some number that it's supposedly worth, and nothing is worth what they're listing it for. But that's what they say, because the housing market right now is just like going up and up and up to infinity. So you gotta come up with your pre-approved mortgage whatever document that says you're worth like 10% more than you need, and then you gotta offer like 5% more than they're asking, and that might get you considered. But then there's like all these there's different types of mortgages, and like the buyer's agent will convince them that different mortgages are better or worse, and so they'll disqualify certain buyers. The seller's agent will convince the seller that different mortgage types are like better or worse. Like they won't take the VA loans from veterans because that has contingencies. And you don't want that. You don't want contingencies. That's bad. So they only want conventional.
No, obviously. Obviously you don't want what kind of a fool would be okay with contingencies?
Yeah, they want the buyer to have a conventional mortgage with no contingencies, or ideally cash. And you're like, no, who has hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash, right?
If you could just buy it with cash, what's the point of all this fucking rigmarole?
It's insane, but you still have to do it.
Such an alien.
I like how you've just confirmed that I will never own a house.
But no, it gets worse, Tom. It gets worse. I mean, you can believe it.
I'm sure it can. We live in America. Everything can get worse. Are you kidding me?
So for my personal house, they did list it. I think they listed it for $280, and I offered $290, and I wasn't even the highest offer. But again, I had the conventional mortgage, and so that got me in. They said, okay, we'll take your offer. But then I had my contingencies. So I said, I have to do a home inspection before I'll buy the house, right? If the home inspection says the house is no good, then I'll walk away, right? Or we can negotiate on the price. And I was lucky that they accepted that, because now a lot of the time you can't even do that. You have to just like buy it as is, pretty much sight unseen. You walk through the house one time for 5 minutes, right?
Sure.
And then you realize there's like ants in the walls and demons under the floor.
Yeah. So then you gotta.
Speaking of ants in the walls,
Okay,
after
go
the
ahead.
story, I gotta tell you about the ants.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Okay. Well, this is a note about apartment hunting, right? This is about moving. This is about homes, I guess. Just a funny story. I moved into this temporary house that I'm staying in for a month before I start my other lease at another place in September. When I moved in, my roommate here, I barely see him like at all. He just stays in his room, smokes
Hell
weed.
yeah.
Fine by me. Yeah. I moved in. There was a pizza in a box on the floor.
Yeah.
in the main living room.
No.
Pizza in the box. I'm like, okay, guy was eating a pizza. That's cool.
I like pizza. It makes sense.
It's the 8th of the month. The pizza is still there. There's ants crawling into the box, and I'm at the point where I'm like, I think I might need to do something about. I know it's not my pizza to move, but I may be forced to deal with this pizza situation.
No, you're looking at it too short term, right? Because eventually the ants will have consumed the pizza.
Naturally.
Right? The problem solves
Circle
itself.
That's probably what he was thinking. He was like, I could pick this up, or the ants will take care of it for me.
Why spend the effort doing what nature will do for free?
He's got an army of maids working for him, essentially.
Yeah, maybe he's got it figured out.
Man. So back at the ranch here.
Yeah.
So I have to have the home inspection done. I hire a home inspector. Costs $1,000, which you think, oh, $1,000, that's a lot of money. But no, you'll be bleeding $1,000 here and there. The whole process, that's just constant.
Yeah. Everybody needs every fucking bloodsucker involved in this process needs their cut.
And
because the entire industry
at the
needs to die. But continue.
Yeah, the big guy comes at the end of hidden surprise fees. But so you get the home inspection done, and then you also need to get an appraisal done. So you think you know what the house is worth. You made an offer that you believe is more than what the house is worth, but otherwise you won't get it. Now you need to convince somebody who works for the bank that the house is worth at least the offer that you made on the house that you know is more than the house is worth.
Say that again?
So you have to hire an appraiser who comes in and they value the house and they have to come up with a valuation that's more than your offer. Otherwise, you can't get a mortgage.
They have to value the house that you are buying that is more than your offer. Otherwise, you can't. Why do they want the value to be bigger than what you're offering?
The bank doesn't want to have a mortgage on a house that they think is worth less than what you want to pay for it.
So you have to convince the bank to give you money, and then you have to convince the bank to let you spend the money.
So basically, you pay this appraiser. You pay this appraiser to tell the bank, no, it's a good deal.
Yeah.
No, it's a good deal.
You have to pay the bank to tell them that they're fucking you.
You already know what the house was worth. You made an offer that's more than that because
so the bank makes you pay to tell them that you are fucking yourself over for their benefit.
That is correct. And that you're happy about it, and they can. You've convinced them that
no. It's time to burn it all down. Burn it all down.
Pay more and less, but not actually.
Yeah.
Okay, Krak. Why did you do this?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because it's way cheaper than renting, and I can
in
do
the long
whatever
run.
I want.
But at what cost?
Immediately.
It just costs you your dignity.
It's not it doesn't cost. It's not immediately cheaper because you don't have to spend $290,000 immediately to rent.
No.
Wait, what do you mean?
It's immediately cheaper because your month.
Do you ever think about how you can 3D print an entire house for $9,000 and for some reason we're not doing it? We know why we're not doing it, but isn't it strange?
Yeah. So you go through this whole process, right? You get the appraisal. The appraisal, if you're lucky, it comes in at the number you need. You've got the magical valuation. Your offer was accepted. You're approved. Now, maybe, if you're lucky, the mortgage company, the loan guys, will actually come through with the money before the deadline that the seller has set. Now, there's like an extra 3 weeks where they're just coming up with the money and going through all of your your finances and history. Just secretly, there's this underwriting process, they call it, where they're digging into your history in a deep background check. And like, maybe
anything they can do to fuck you.
Good. Yeah, is there anything in here?
Is there any way we can just run with all the money they've already spent on this process and make them restart the whole thing?
That is correct. So if you get through all of that,
I see.
If you get through all of
that, it sounds a lot cheaper to buy a gun and start going to Wall Street.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Don't say that. You can't say that. Bleep it, Eleazar.
If you get through all of that, then the big kicker comes. You have to hire a lawyer who will do what's called the closing. And you go to the lawyer's office and sign all the paperwork and everything. And then you need to both pay the lawyer and the company giving you the mortgage a shitload of money. So like in my house, for example, I was going to pay 5% of the price as my down payment. I needed an additional 5% of the overall cost of the house just to pay the lawyer and the bank the closing costs.
All the fees.
Yeah, just lost money to fees.
Yeah.
An additional 5%.
5% of the cost of the house.
Yeah, the total value of the house. So it's like, if you talk to a boomer about this, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, to buy a house, you got to have 20% down payment. You want to have 20% of the." You will never be able to do it, right? If your house was $300,000, you would need $60,000, and then probably $20,000 on top of that to pay for closing costs. It's impossible. You cannot do it, right? So I was able to do it with just 10%.
This is because...
Yeah.
Wait, I thought you said... Wait, how do you do it with 10%? I thought you said 20% was not enough.
Yeah, no. So they tell you need 20%, because if you pay 20% down, then you can avoid private mortgage insurance, which is an additional monthly cost. But it's impossible. You cannot do it. Because nobody could save 20% of the value of a house today.
Man, all of this fucking process, it's a good thing this process isn't in the way of something essential like housing. That would just be, that would seem kind of cruel.
Yeah. Oh, meanwhile, right, like you're renting a place, and you don't, do I pay my rent this month because I'm going to stay here another month? I don't know. When will we close? I have no idea. Right. So you better plan to rent a house and also buy a house at the same time for a couple of months and have them overlap. Otherwise, you're fucked.
Yeah, I see.
Pretty exciting. Pretty good. Yeah, the surprise at the end where it's just like,
stuff.
Oh yeah, you remember how you had your down payment? Well, if you just have all of that money that you saved up, if you could just have already saved twice as much of that to pay the other guy, that'd be great. Like...
So what do closing costs do other than nothing?
Closing costs, it's just a scam. It pays the lawyer that you sign the documents for, and then you pay the bank that's giving you the money. You pay them.
Haven't you already paid them twice?
You pay them for giving you money.
Haven't you already paid them twice, though?
No, you pay them because then they disperse part of those costs to pay the two real estate agents who are involved. So because they have to get paid, that's how they get paid. And
do you remember when you could just go to a store and buy something? Yeah, that was cute.
It feels like it would be cheaper to buy the necessary materials to build a house in the woods.
It
feels like it would be cheaper.
But you don't own the land, so you can't build out there, so you'll get arrested.
You need to buy the land, and I mean you can't really build a house yourself, so you need to like hire contractors for that. I'm sure that's its own.
I played Minecraft.
I'll tell you, hiring contractors is a whole separate pain in the ass. Yeah, unbelievable. I move into this house and the roof starts leaking. And I'm like, all right, cool.
I'm glad I paid $300,000.
Yeah, no big deal. I'll just hire a roofer to come out and check it out, fix it, right? No big deal.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you,
Obvious.
I've called like 10 different roofers. I got one to come out, and they had to come back 5 times to keep fixing it because they fucked it up every time. And that's just how it goes.
Okay.
You just smile and say, "Oh, good to see you again. How's it going, Bill at the roofing company? We're on a first name basis."
And that's just how he likes it. This is what he wants.
Now, did you have to
Did you
did
play
you
right
pay
into his
every time,
hands?
or did he actually like have?
No. I only had to pay him the first time when they supposedly fixed it, and then they came back 4 or 5 times for free. But the only cost is water has been pouring down on my sofa and my computer 5 times during the rain. Not a big deal.
No, of course.
I take it as
it's funny. It's funny. I was having a conversation with Kazi the other day about spending, about like using money to like create more money, and how like home ownership is like the thing that you do to build wealth in America.
That is
1,000%
true, and I'll tell you. So, in order to buy the house, what I did was cash out my 401k for my old job, which I could do with no fee, because of the pandemic. Because of the pandemic, all 401ks you can cash out if you had a quote unquote pandemic related impact to your finances, which everyone did. So you could cash it out with no fee, and I took that money and then combined that with some money that I got when the company I worked for got bought out, which was like, I didn't have much savings, but the two of those together was just enough to have like 10% of this house. So it was just barely enough money, right? And if you look at the value of the house today, just like a few months later, I bought this in December or November, I already, on paper, have way more money than I had before I bought the house. Like, I'm just
including like the value of the
if
house.
If you look at the net, if you look at the value of the house today versus like what I spent on it, I already have made back all that money. Like, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
And it's good for the foreseeable future. Like, and so my monthly costs are lower. I already have that extra value. Like, there's no downsides as far as I'm concerned, except for the ridiculous
everything
process.
you just
except for the nightmare process of
the
it.
nightmare process and the
except for
high
needing
upfront fee that you need.
No, so honestly, what I would recommend, if you have a regular income, like if you have a steady income, and you can somehow like liquidate a bunch of shit to get just enough money to get your foot in the door and buy a house, do it. It is absolutely worth it, because you then immediately start saving money.
Yeah, because once you have the mortgage, once you have the house and you have the mortgage, your rent payments are basically going to yourself.
That's correct. Right? Yeah, so it just, I pay like $300, let's say, of my mortgage payment is just lost to interest or whatever, but the other like $1,200 goes basically into a bank account. Right. which is sick.
You have assumed debt, and now your rent goes to like pay down your debt.
Exactly.
More or less.
Yeah, and it's not just lost, right? Because all that debt is just equity. It's just I own a greater percentage.
It's the value of the house.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sure. That's but
I'm
so
too
hard,
smooth
though.
brain.
It's so
I'm
hard.
too smooth brain for capitalism.
It's so annoying.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's it seemed basically impossible all the way up
though.
Until I did it.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine having a large lump sum of money.
God.
I don't even know what that looks like.
I have no idea.
I just I don't know.
I still get excited when I find a quarter. I'm just like, oh my god.
It's the most affordable houses are like out. They're out away from like civilization, and right. I like urban living, and I could never afford like a building in like the city. Yeah. I mean, that's housing cost, real estate cost is location.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. And I was able to save some money. I bought a small house, and I bought it next to Worcester instead of Boston, where it's a little cheaper.
Yeah.
I just want a house the size of a studio that costs like nothing in the middle of nowhere. As long as I get decent internet, that's all I care about. But those
the inside
don't
of my house
exist.
is like 1,000 square feet or so, maybe a little bit more if you count some of the loft area. So it's not like a big house, but I've also got gigabit fiber, so like I got the killer internet, and it's sick. Honestly, I love it.
Think how much slime you can mine with a connection like that.
Why do you think he got it?
The profits are skyrocketing.
Like I said, I'm already making money. Right?
Yeah.
It's all in slime, but I'm making money.
I don't have money for the down payment, but if you look at my Discord account, you can see the amount of slime I have.
I'll sell you my Discord account that's tied to my Endless War profile that has like quadrillions of slime coin. Slime coin gold farming.
You could probably get pretty far doping someone into thinking that it's an actual cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I mean,
the only thing that gives crypto value is faith. So, like, there's no reason you couldn't just make it.
The blockchain, Tom. It's about
nobody knows what the blockchain is. You just say that you're on the blockchain.
It solved the Persian general problem or whatever, Tom.
I literally don't know what you're talking about.
It's that some fucking thought experiment that Bitcoiners are like, oh, it's an age-old question, and Bitcoin's the greatest solution mankind has ever come up with.
Right.
Yeah.
When I think of blockchain, all I can think of is cube anal beads.
Gross.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
I get it, but I don't like it.
That's fucked up. Man, speaking of
horrible
we
things.
weren't speaking of disappointments.
Speaking of anal beads.
Speaking of bullshit. Speaking of things that go up your ass. Bitcoin is on the rise again. People are saying it's rallying again.
I just want a GPU.
I thought it was over.
Holy shit! I haven't been able to render in cycles for 3 fucking years.
It fell under 30K for a while, and now it's almost back up to 45. People are saying, 100K?
Krak, were you able to get a GPU? Do you even need a GPU?
No, I've been running, I've got a GTX 970, I think Super or something. I've been running that shit since it came out, and it's great. I got it right before GPU prices started going totally insane, so it's like $400.
Dude, I almost bought a 2060, but I was like, the 3000 series will come out. And that fucked me, but then I found one. I got a 3060 Ti. I paid way too much, but I got it. And then it was defective. And I was like, oh
man.
Fuck. Newegg was like, we don't accept returns on this item. We can only replace it. I'm like, oh, so you'll send me another one. And then I waited 2 weeks and they're like, we have no stock. Here's your money back. I'm like,
got him.
Cool.
And it's been a nightmare ever since.
That's terrible.
And
I've been trying to get like a 3070, and it's just, you can't do it.
I mean, I'm just at this point, I'm just going to get a 4000 series. They're going to come out next year like clockwork anyways. So like,
and hopefully they make more of them. Right.
The rumors right now is that like, they're going to be like twice as power consumption, but like twice as powerful as the 30 series. I'm like, so they're just going to like charge scalper prices at MSRP now because they realize they can get away with it.
Yeah, exactly. They're just going to come out. It's going to be $1,000.
Yeah, it's going to be
4070 or whatever.
Fucking Jensen's going to come out with his fucking leather jacket and pull one out of his stove and be like, "Hey guys, it's only $8.99 for the 4060, and what a bargain!" I'll be like, "I hate my life."
Money sucks.
It's the worst.
Fuck.
I just remembered. Did me and Krak and Tom, did the three of us ever hang out at the same time at like Trixie's house in Boston?
I think just one time.
We did. We went into Boston and like with Munchie and we hung out and we went around the city and we like went to that fucking park and it was cold, but we were hanging out there anyway. We were just dicking around.
Oh, when we played Pokemon Go in the Commons. Oh, I was thinking of was that the same time? Like, I know that Krak, you came and hung out that one time. I think it was on like Christmas, or it was like around Christmas at Trixie's place, and that was the time I got really
like
drunk.
Christmas or New Year's. I went to.
And I don't know if Tom, really you were living there.
That doesn't narrow it down.
Yeah, that was embarrassing.
Tom was there, but Tom was like in a catatonic state. It seemed like.
I wasn't there
like you
for
were
that.
Either real tired or no, you were. I mean, you were physically there, but like you were not engaged in whatever was going on.
When we went to like the Chinese place and stuff.
No. This was at the house.
No. When we were hanging out in the house. Oh, I'm thinking maybe these were two different times.
I think they were
the time
two
we went to
different
the
times.
Commons and then maybe in
because I was definitely alive and doing things in the trip I'm talking about, or excursion, whatever you want to call it.
I forgot about the I don't know if Krak was there for the Boston Commons Pokemon Go trip.
No, I don't think so.
Were you?
You were there for no, you were definitely there because that was the first time I saw you in real life. Was this outing that I'm talking about?
Wait. Are you thinking there was the separate time when we all met up for Christmas, I think the year before, like when I was still living in Georgia and I came up to visit and Nate and Michelle, or no, that was the same time. No, that was the same time. I don't know if you were Krak. You were definitely there because we ate the spicy you ate the spicy sauce.
Oh yeah, I was there for the spicy
that made you
sauce. I was there.
I don't know if Tom was.
I don't think Tom
there
was.
for that.
God.
Wait, Gib, you were not there. Gib,
Huh?
you were not.
No, you just didn't
You were
see
not
me.
there. Okay.
Oh my God.
Well, I guess that makes sense.
Ben, where are you going?
It's
Where are
such
you
a-
going with this?
I don't know. I'm just trying to piece together. I'm just
Trying
trying
to
to piece
figure out my
together
life.
when we hung out and why. I don't know. What I think it's
why would we do
interesting.
such a thing?
Why would friends
I don't
hang
know.
out together
Okay.
and like have a good time? What a strange concept.
I don't
Man,
know.
there was
It doesn't make any money. It doesn't pay the mortgage.
You know, it's true. It's becoming increasingly risky to have
Doesn't-
fun in today's economy.
It doesn't build my portfolio.
Speaking of the one time we did the sauce thing, where you guys famously ran out of the place to eat snow.
Oh,
I-
I know that.
I don't
Twitter
know
image.
if I did.
I think after that,
I don't know if-
I dropped off you and Nate and Michelle and everybody down in like a parking garage, and we took a picture together. I wish I could find that picture.
That sounds familiar. Yeah, I remember you ate. I didn't run out to eat the snow. Everybody else ran out to eat the snow. I just bought a bunch of bottled water from the counter and started drinking bottled water. You didn't move. You didn't move. You just sat there with your face like puffy and red and like tears streaming down your face, just immobile, just staring, just like, yep, hurts real bad.
Yeah, oh, it was terrible.
but just placid about it.
I mean, I ain't trying to make a scene.
Everybody else had no problem making a scene.
No, and you
But it
know
was
why?
fine.
Because May had just eaten a ton of the sauce, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna eat a bunch of the sauce, and however bad
didn't
it is,
she, like,
it
not-
just is what it is.
Didn't she like not even care?
She did not
Like,
care.
I remember
she didn't even notice.
She had like no she was like inhuman.
Basically unfeeling, looked like a robot.
Yeah.
Scary
Yeah.
in hindsight.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Creepy. Yes. Whatever. I just like to reminisce about the good old days. All right. Listen, we live in a post-COVID world now, and nothing good is ever going to happen again. All we have is our memories, guys. All right, get on board.
Okay.
Yeah, it's true. I have. I have a note here about Nate's podcast, The Gamer Zone. I don't know if anyone listened to it.
Zone.
I didn't
did
listen to it.
I didn't.
I don't know. I saw that that's a thing that exists. And I'm not clear on if it's I'm not sure if it's a one-time
I think
thing
it's
or a
conditional on
continuing
its
thing.
success. If people watch the first one, he'll do another one.
I mean, it's gonna get whatever
Imagine
it's
doing
gonna
a
get.
podcast. How embarrassing.
I know.
Very, very embarrassing.
I was looking if I could find that
everything is
image
conditional on its
with
success.
everyone at the table, but I don't have it. I don't think of the thing that you were talking about with the snow. But instead, I found this, which is like I think Redcon 1 or 2.
No, that was Arm
Retrieval Con? Was it BronyCon? What was
that was in Boston because we were in South Station. We took that photo. That was for the meetup. Remember trying to do an impromptu meetup at South Station?
The that was like RadCon like 3.5.
Yeah, that was RadCon
right?
3.5.
Didn't some people call it that?
That was when we all went to Trixie's place.
That was when we had that stupid meeting where nothing was accomplished except that like
a very unproductive
Nate
meeting.
decided that was when Nate decided like, yes, I will be moving to Virginia Beach to do content. That was like the only thing that got
images
accomplished.
that precede unfortunate events.
It was
they all talked about it like it was we were making plans for all of us, but nobody had. It was just those two, and that was the only thing. And they could have just fucking talked about it under any circumstances.
It was because Trixie would never come to meetings or something, and so they decided to all meet up, or at least it was Nate and Trixie in Boston, because Trixie was in Boston at the time. Then you were around, so you're like, yeah, I'll be there, and then Tom probably, and then I heard about it, and I was like, oh, everyone's gonna be there.
Yeah,
I want to go, and then I flew over for no reason.
It was no travel for like me and Tom. Nate, I don't know. I think Munchie was just visiting.
Munchie was already there
or something. He was for school. No, he was there for school, I think, or something. And then the weird part is Nate deciding that he had to come to Boston to like have a powwow about whatever it was.
Was that the same weekend that we all had the discussion with Munchie about college? Because wasn't he there to visit Kaze before going to school? I don't remember. That did happen.
Maybe.
At one point.
Yeah, it might have been before. School. He might have been looking at colleges or something that.
Yeah.
And just yeah. But then since everyone was going to be there,
I mean,
totally
you can say it was a waste of time
to just be like, well,
that event was where Noogle was born, and that was worth all of the trouble.
Noogle was pretty great. Noogle. I mean, it's not. I mean, it was fun. Don't get me wrong. I just think it's weird.
It was.
That Nate had to travel across the country
to have a Discord call in person.
Basically. But whatever.
I mean, we had fun. We played.
We did have fun.
Jack 3, and then you and Munchie did like an RFCK thing.
No, that was when we did the
infamous
Smash Bros.
Brawl.
Wait, what's the campaign in Brawl called?
Subspace Emissary? Wait, no, that wasn't.
Yes, we did. I think so. Yeah, we did the 8-hour Subspace Emissary playthrough that got destroyed by the FAT32 hard drive.
Because it was my hard drive. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a nightmare.
Fuck that game.
I thought because I have a clip from a stream that you did, RFCK wise. So you
what
streamed.
About it?
No, I'm just. Like, if that was... Did you also do the Subspace Emissary?
We might have streamed... No, it wasn't at Redcon 3. We might have streamed some Brawl at some point, but we did off-stream a recorded Subspace Emissary run, and it was lost on the hard drive because of the FAT32 format. Yeah. Yeah, well, okay.
Okay.
What are we? Okay.
Man, okay.
Well, now I know.
Speaking of the sauce, I found the picture of not the one that I wanted to find, but this picture of me after I suffered the sauce.
Ooh.
This looks like you had recovered.
This seems like your expression. This looks like your expression the entire time getting a house. That just seems like.
Yeah, that's about what the process was like.
Yeah.
This is after you'd had a little time. You'd had a little time to like kind of recover from it. You were more intensely
it's
red.
Hard to imagine.
Like before. Yeah. That was some fucking sauce though. That shit sucked. Good times. Okay, well I guess nothing to say about the Gamer Zone, I guess. I don't know. I guess I just thought it'd bore mention. Yeah.
It's about
damn,
stuff.
I'm all out of fucking topics of interest.
Well, I've got a couple more.
Hell yeah.
I mean, first I gotta plug the Quake map. I made a Quake map just recently, just for fun. It's the 25th anniversary of Quake. Ben played it.
Yeah.
I think you probably had a bad time.
I played it. No, once I figured out what I was doing, I played it and I had a good time. But then I didn't find the secrets because they involve kind of high level Quake strats that I was felt sort of exhausted when I learned what was
what do you
involved
use
in
to
them.
map Quake maps? Or like, there's like a modern editor that people are using still?
Yeah,
I would assume
so. There's a combination. So in order to make the actual geometry to do the modeling, you can use this tool called Trench Broom, which is really good. It's really modern. You pretty much just paint in 3D. It's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. But every other part of the process is ridiculously antiquated. So like
really
to manage textures, I use this tool Wally, which has been unchanged since about 1998. But it fucking runs in wine, no problem. So no big deal.
Jesus, that's incredible.
And there's some other little tricks. So there's this guy Eric W who does the current iteration of tools that everyone uses to compile their maps and the lighting and stuff. And those are good. So you just download them, and they're command line tools. But people make like GUIs that you can use to pretty much just like check some boxes and have it make the map. So that's no problem. Yeah, and I honestly I would recommend it. I would say go download Trench Broom. There's this guy Dump Truck DS on YouTube who does tutorials. He has a ridiculously in-depth tutorial series that literally anybody can follow. And it'll get you started, and you should do it, Tom. You should actually do it. Go make a Quake map and have fun. But everybody listening, stop listening. Go to my website, download this map, and play it, and then come back. So that's
link it right here. Link it in the chat so Eleazar can find it.
Yeah, it's just if they just go to kissy.net, it's on the first story. But I'll link the actual link in case In case it's 2 years from now.
No one's going to type a link in their browser. You have to give it a click.
Too many numbers. Check out the Slime Factory. Take a tour of the Slime Factory.
See where the slime is
so
made.
Sick. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and even if you don't have Quake installed on your computer, there's a link to get you started, so you don't have to like figure anything out. You pretty much just download a thing, click a button, and you play. So
I'm glad you have texture filtering off as God intended.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I would recommend if you know how to do it, because God, the blurry textures. Why? Why do people play that?
Every time I watch someone playing.
Wait, what is it? What does it try? Does it like smooth out the pixels?
Every texture in Quake, the pixels are like gigantic. They're all 64 by 64 for a face.
Yeah, it rules.
So you want to turn the texture filtering will be on by default with any OpenGL engine, and turn it off. Turn off the texture filtering. Oh, turn it off.
God, I hope I wasn't playing with it and not even realize. I don't think I did.
It was probably on.
Yeah. I like those crunchy.
Every time
so
someone plays
better.
Doom with those on, I just like want to shoot them.
Cringe. It's extremely cringe.
It's super cringe.
It feels kind of missing the point. Like there's new Doom if you want smoother Doom.
It's not gonna look good.
You want to play the old one, it's gonna be crunchy.
I want a Doom where the 20 polygon enemies are rendered in 4K resolution.
They have that.
They
you
need
can
to
get
run
HD
at 124 frames per second.
I don't understand why. It boggles the mind.
Fucking, there's a huge community of people who make like high res models and textures for Quake 1. And like more power to them. Make whatever you want. That's cool. Yeah. I would never ever in my life play with that. I want it to look like shit because that's what it looks like.
That's Quake.
That's
Quake.
Yeah.
Is there a way?
It looks great. It looks great
to have like a super high poly game with shitty textures.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look fun and cool.
Yeah.
I feel like that would look awkward. Like a really smoothly
like
rendered
60
model,
FPS 4K,
but with big crunchy pixel textures on it.
With like a very crushed Photoshop face of an actor on the face.
It would look very. It would be bizarre because you probably like wouldn't be able to line up like your 4 textures or 4 pixels of an eyeball onto the geometry of your photorealistic eye properly. But it's doable.
I want to see it.
Go download MakeHuman, get like a low poly Quake 1 model, just slap it on there and see what happens. That's really
cool.
I
did see in Crash 4, there's like a bunch of skins that you can have, and one of them is like Crash from PlayStation 1. You can play the Crash 4 game with a Crash 1 guy. but it looks horrendous because it's not the actual same model. They make it look like it, but it maps onto like the new like rig, the skeleton of the new character, so all the animations work. But I think the worst thing about it is that the lighting, that casts shadows.
Oh no!
That on that sort of low poly like single color fur like Crash Bandicoot completely changes the way he looks.
Yeah, you have to use
and you
unshaded.
Can't change the shadows.
Oh no, that's so bad. Yeah.
So it looks like it's so ugly. It's very unfortunate.
As I was importing my models into Unreal Engine, like it defaults to like a PBR texture, so it has like realistic lighting and stuff, and it completely ruins the effect. You have to make it unlit.
PBR?
Photo-based rendering. It like simulates how light interacts with materials like in a game engine. So it all the stuff will like have like realistic reflections and realistic shadows and all that garbage, and I'm just like, no, turn it all off.
Who needs it?
Honestly, who does?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you really don't need that much to make the game good. It's honestly better if the graphics are worse, but they just, you can feel something when you look at it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, making it look more real isn't better.
I just played...
That's like better...
I just was playing...
That's like how I feel that way about art in general. Like, if you can get across the same amount with less detail, it's just better. Like, most of the time.
Minimum conveyance is ideal.
Yeah.
I was just playing the beta version 3 of Project Brutality, which is like a crazy high gore, over-the-top mod for the original Doom. It's so much more fun than the new Doom games. It's so good. The just like crazy amount of just like catharsis they have to all the weapon effects and stuff, because it's just like these little pixels just getting blown apart and spattering pixely blood everywhere, and like all the sound effects are, because like the visuals look like shit, so they have to make the sound really good to sell like how fucking powerful these weapons are, and it's like the best. It's so fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's really. I hadn't heard of Project Brutality. There used to be Brutal Doom.
Yeah, this is a fork of that by another guy.
Okay,
it's like even more guns and more effects and crazy shit.
If it's not related to Brutal Doom, that's like really unfortunate naming.
Yeah, right. No, he like forked it and like took it and like I guess I don't know why he forked it, because I haven't looked into the history of it. I just know that it's a fork of that. But it's kind of the same idea, but like even more ridiculous. And like you can get like weapon upgrades, and like there's like 3 different kinds of BFGs. It's just like an inventory for days. It's like really fucking cool.
It sounds cool. Brutal Doom was sick as fuck.
Oh, it was so good. It's like still my favorite shooter. Is like those kind of things. It's like
what's the difference between Doom and Brutal Doom?
You can explain it if you want.
Oh, so Doom, the base Doom game, is extremely primitive, right? Like you're essentially moving on a 2D plane, right? And you can look only straight forward, and you have some simple weapons. With Brutal Doom, what they did is allow you to, first of all, you can look all over the place. The weapons are more complicated, so you can do things like look down the sights of your shotgun. Right, and they have different weapons and just generally improved gameplay all over, plus a whole new series of maps.
Yeah.
But isn't the original? I mean, the original Doom is built around its simplistic gameplay, though, right?
Yeah, so you can revisit the original maps with the improved gameplay, and also there's new maps.
Yeah, because I mean, it works with any map file from Doom, but like obviously with like the increased like weapon damage and stuff, you can get map packs that are made especially with this kind of refined gameplay in mind. But like, I mean, you know what Doom looks like. Like, this is the video I saw that was like, I gotta play this. It's fucking nuts.
I see. Speaking of games, I saw at we've been to a BronyCon or two. And at and at previous BronyCons, I've met this guy Tony Yotes, and he has been making this game. He's been making a pony game for, I don't know, but several years now, like since the TBAP days,
Battle Gem
I think.
Ponies.
And Battle Gem Ponies, and he just launched the Kickstarter for it. And I honestly, after like I've just kind of had this guy as like a follow on Twitter for years and years. Every now and then I see a Battle Gem pony, I'm like, looking good, looking good. And it's actually real. They actually did the Kickstarter. I can't believe it. But I thought it was cool that it's actually happening. It seems like it's actually doing like pretty well. I think it's up to like 8,000 or something.
So
like
you can download a demo right now and play it.
I have not.
Yeah,
played the demo.
I was just looking at the Kickstarter. Because the concern always, the Kickstarter comes out and it's like, does he even have anything? Is there even actually a game? Is this just an idea?
God, after all this time, I hope so.
But no, it's real. So he's got a demo.
Yeah, I asked him how much it would take to get Phantom Horn in the game,
of course.
And I think it's a lot. He'd have to make like a whole sprite. I don't think it's feasible. It made me sad, but oh well, that's okay. I'll still buy it. That still fucking got me by the balls. I gotta do it. Oh well. Yeah, I don't know. Fucking Battle Gem ponies. I'm invested in it just because I have known about it for so long, and every once in a while I see it on the timeline and be like, will this ever be a real game? So I would think it was neat if it was.
And here it is.
Cool shit. I don't know.
Pony games are coming back.
I guess there must be a brony contingency that's still there, just
it's
like
still alive.
You made a fucking a pony themed Pokemon like indie game. Take my money. There must still be a contingent because it's
Gen
going.
5 movies coming out like this month or next month.
Oh, are we gonna? We gotta do an episode. We gotta do.
We
gotta do it.
obligated.
I'm ready. I'll go see it in theaters.
Is it coming out
I don't
in
give a
theaters?
fuck about the Delta variant. I assumed it was, but maybe it's not. I mean the last Pony movie came out in theaters.
Yeah, I feel like it probably will.
It says
Gen
Netflix.
5.
I don't know if it's coming out in theaters.
No, that's disappointing.
We'll all have to gather at Krak's house and watch it.
Yeah, come on down.
Yeah. You know what? Okay.
I'll fly over. Why not?
I'm in.
Hell yeah.
I'm in.
Hey, so speaking of Kickstarters, Tom, you were saying you got the framework computer, and my immediate concern, right? So I've seen so many Kickstarters for like, this is the new modular phone, which is going to revolutionize phones, and like you'll be able to just upgrade it piece by piece. And literally none of them have ever materialized into a useful device.
Mm-hmm.
This laptop looks better, but like, what sold it to you?
Well, it's not a Kickstarter, which is important. First of all, they have pre-orders open. The device exists. Like reviewers, like everyone in the tech like reviewer sphere has already used the device, had hands-on, and like it works, it functions, it's been reviewed. They've already shipped out 2, I think, waves of them, and they're on like wave 3 of orders.
Okay.
So it's real, which is the first like big sticking point. Like it's out and it exists. I think the second thing that sold me is that all the components in it are off the shelf. There's no proprietary hardware except for the main motherboard, because like you have to solder the CPU onto something. But even that, they have all the schematics for the board available, and unlike every other laptop, you can actually take the main board out and use it outside of the laptop. So if you're done with the laptop, you can like set it up as like a NAS or whatever, because it'll run unconnected to the rest of the components. And that also means like if the company tanks, you can still replace things because all these components are off the shelf. So like you can buy a battery from a third party, you can buy a new display from a third party. But that's like the great thing about it, is literally the entire computer is modular, which is like, I've been bitching about it forever, that like it sucks that like these like really portable like Ultrabooks and stuff, they're all designed to be throwaway products, like everything's soldered to the board, and the excuse was like, oh, you can't get a computer this thin and light unless you solder everything together. And like we've all kind of like accepted that as being true. So this company Framework is made up of like ex-people from like Facebook and Apple, I think, and they were just like, why don't we make a laptop that's like actually decently designed, but all the ports can be swapped out because it's just 4 USB-C ports coming off the main board, and you get
so you essentially got like tiny dongles.
Yeah, and then you just have dongles that just slot into the chassis itself.
Same.
rigid compact dongles.
Yeah, exactly. As we're all familiar with.
Stop! You're turning me on.
And so even the schematics and stuff for those are available, so other people can make their own kind of adapters for the computer itself. And my laptop that I have right now is like more powerful than this thing, so I technically don't need it, but I'm kind of just like putting my money where my mouth is and being like, you know what? I've wanted something like this to exist forever, and if I can just do my little bit to like give them the momentum they need in the beginning, maybe like next year or the year after they'll release like a 15-inch laptop that has like a full fat 45-watt CPU and a dedicated graphics card, which is something I would actually buy, and then that's fully modular. So like if later down the road it's like 1080p is nice, but I could really use a QHD screen or a higher refresh rate, instead of having to buy a whole new computer, like with this one you can just take the magnetic lid off and just drop in a new panel and seal it back up and like actually upgrade your notebook like I would with my desktop, which has like half of the components have been sitting in it for 5 years versus the motherboard and CPU are new because I upgraded that recently. And just like being able to do that, because like it sucks having to like throw out a perfectly good display, perfectly good motherboard, perfectly good RAM because like one thing broke, so I just said fuck it, it's $100 down. I can still cancel it for a reason I decide I don't want to, but it's shipping in October. And it's like, I don't know. I just really believe in the idea. And like, it's not vaporware because like, Linus Tech Tips and a bunch of like reputable people have had it in-house and swear that it's actually good. So fuck it. I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just hope that all the hardware that's included and available is like supported in the Linux kernel, but I don't know. That would be my next concern. Right?
I know
you buy a laptop and it's like 50-50 chance whether the wireless or the Bluetooth is going to be in the kernel.
From what I understand, and again, I'm not a big Linux guy, despite me wanting to. The Linux, like some people have tested it with Linux, and it does work. And even the fingerprint scanner on it works with Linux as well. They made sure that was supported. Yeah,
I've never seen one work.
Yeah,
I've never seen one work. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. So, and then because like the compatibility, like they're saying, like right now you just have the 11th gen Ultrabook main board, but they're also going to make options going forward that you can put both ARM and RISC-V SoCs in there as well.
Ooh.
So like, yeah, the future sounds really interesting. So if you could just like, oh yeah, I just want to drop an ARM board in here for a little bit, like that'd be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, that sounds sick. And honestly, like, I probably should support that, but the truth is that I just have a Dell XPS 13 and it's sick as hell. It's like good enough.
Yeah,
but
it's
down the road years from now, it's like I would love there to be this option available.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It's like I could still use my laptop for another like 3 or 4 years, but like my thought process was like I want this to exist in 3 to 4 years when I do need a new 15-inch notebook. So I'm gonna like put my money where my mouth is, because I have like, you want to dive into my fucking comment history on YouTube, you can find me bitching about sealed RAM and shit on laptop reviews for like 10 years now. So I'm like, well, I'd be a pretty big fucking hypocrite if I didn't like throw down for this. So,
and it's crazy that it's been so long and this doesn't really exist yet, because years ago when I was in college, I had a 15-inch, I think, Alienware laptop, and that was so close to like a full modular laptop. And they just completely abandoned that whole design practice. Like with that laptop, you could take off one panel and expose almost the entire main board. Yeah. And it had a discrete video card that was slotted and could be replaced. God,
that's insane.
Right?
It just doesn't exist anymore.
It just doesn't exist. What happened? We were right there,
It's because money. Like it's so much more. I think Apple leads the charge on a lot of this shit, and they are money grubbing bastards.
Yeah. Right. Everyone wants the ultra slim aluminum case.
But like, here's the thing: the framework laptop is thinner and lighter than like a MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
But it's completely modular, and it's just like, okay, so what's your excuse for sealing everything in? It's like, oh, because Apple wants to charge like $1,000 for repairs, so they'll just make you buy a new one.
Yep.
There's just no, like, this is a tiny 13-inch device that has 2 SODIMM slots, and everybody who makes a 13-inch notebook, it's like, it has to be soldered, or we can't get it to be slim. It's like,
can't do it. It's like
these guys designed this. They designed this entire computer in less than a year. So like, if you're Apple and you spend billions of dollars in R&D every year, like, you clearly just choose not to. So yeah. It's pretty fucking sick. So I'm super interested in what the community is gonna do with it. Because, like, as much as, like, Framework offers, I'm sure they're going to be like, oh, dude, this fucking panel from China that you can order from AliExpress totally slots in here. And, like, there's going to be crazy shit like that that's going to start popping up. And that's just really going to start taking on a life of its own.
Yeah, well, because the reality of it, right, is that a lot of hardware that's in laptops is standardized. And it's just not a standard device that's available to you as the consumer. But, like, the form factors are standardized. The parts are interchangeable, and it's just a matter of access.
You can't get to them. But like, when this one, like, the bezel is magnetic and comes right off, and then it's 4 screws and the display pops out. It's like, oh, I can replace / upgrade my display. And like, the motherboard, because like, they don't have any touch options on the display, but the motherboard supports touch. So if you can find one that is compatible, that has a touchscreen, just drop it in, and now you have a touchscreen. And like, it's super cool because like, you can because like, they also have it so like, you open up the computer, and all the components have QR codes, so you can just scan the QR code. It brings up all the documentation on how to replace it, how to upgrade it, what works, what doesn't work with it. So it's like, and then I think like, this is like such a little fucking nerd thing, but like, when they mention this in the Linus Tech Tip videos, like, oh, that's so fucking cool. So all the screws are color coded, so you know which goes where. And then there's a tiny little extra bit of space at the top of the case. And so instead of just leaving it empty, they put 3 replacement screws of each kind.
Oh,
so
that's
if
very kind of them.
You miss one, there's some sitting right there to replace them with. I'm just like, they thought of everything. It's fucking brilliant. So yeah, I don't know. It just seems like exactly the kind of like company philosophy that I've wanted for a long time. It's like, well, I gotta do it, so I did it, and it looks pretty dope.
Well, cool. We should probably move on before...
Dope as hell. I agree with all of that. Couldn't have said it better myself.
I sometimes use the computer. I turn
there
it
was
on.
like 3 people in the audience who appreciated that conversation.
Yeah. Well, and we do
That's
it for
good.
them. I came on here for them.
There's 3 or 4 holdouts in the audience. Like, when are they gonna talk about the beveling?
For those 3 or 4 people,
bezeling.
here's a link to the Linus Tech Tip video that really broke it all down. It's fucking really sick.
We are more than 2 hours in, so I think maybe it's time to go to voicemails.
Oh no!
Oh no! Yeah. Unfortunately, yes. We still get voicemails.
Do I even still have the login info on my fucking browser? It's been so long.
Oh no! Don't even worry about it. I'll just put them right in the. I'll put them right in the links.
Krak's here.
That's right. So here in the
and I gotta apologize. I left 30 voicemails under various names.
Jeez.
Just in advance. I'm sorry for all of the voicemails you're about to hear. It was all me.
I was looking at the voicemails yesterday, and I saw that there were less than usual, and I was like, yes! But then I check again today, and the number has doubled up to, like, the normal amount, so,
Well, now we know where they came from. It was all Krak.
Yeah.
So we can skip them.
I hope so.
You could just skip mine. I left them all yesterday. You could just skip them.
They were all about the Framework laptop, so we just answered them all.
Yeah, that's correct.
Cool. The first voicemail is actually...
Krak, says the voicemails at the same time as they're played. So we get like a echo.
Recite them in real time. The first voicemail is actually an image, so there it is. Look at that. Appreciate
wow.
it. Yeah, they've got me surrounded.
Is that
Come
you?
sim for yeah, I'm sure that's me. Yeah, that's definitely me. I think. Yeah.
All right.
It looks more like Munchie, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I thought it was
doesn't
Munchie
make any
initially too,
sense.
but like Munchie doesn't hate Homestuck.
Well, I love Homestuck, so that doesn't work for either of us. Well, no, I was confused about this meme. I guess the point of the meme is that the person behind the table is saying something crazy, so if I'm saying I hate Homestuck, that means I've gone crazy because I actually love Homestuck.
I don't get it. This is a bad meme.
This is a weird meme.
Is this supposed to be any of us? Maybe it's just some random guy.
God, I hope not.
It's like an ink blot test, right? It says more about you, your perception of this, right?
We've all
It's
been
whoever
had.
you think it is.
Yeah, true. Okay, wait, oh no, I've got it here. The next voicemail is called Proper JoJo Reading Order. Sorry for my connection is slow. I will have to upload these early. 3, 2, 1. Oh, there it is. Okay. Proper JoJo Reading Order in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so JoJo Part 1 and 2, I can't start at that because I know what's going to happen. I know there's an evil vampire, and I know there's a bunch of scary
I'm going to motion to skip
cellmen.
this one, actually, because I don't have any opinions about
okay.
JoJo.
JoJo Part 3 is where they use
I
magic.
don't know about it either.
Okay, all right. Thanks for the voicemail. Sorry, I can't help you. I can't help you with that one, buddy. We're moving on. Good. Oh, sorry. It's got to load. Next one is called Confusion, Awe, Disgust, Contempt. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So recap: Trixie works with Vizier. Vizier is the producer for Dick's show, and Dick is buddies or whatever with Ralph. Ralph ruined Trixie's life by way of May. So
I don't think
why
that's how...
does Trixie put up with being only 2 degrees of separation?
Because she's a simp. Because she's a simp.
Does that make sense to anybody else?
Because
why would she put up with this shit?
Dick is
I would never
famous
put up
and
with that
has
shit.
big money connections.
Would you put up with that shit? Just like lose your wife to somebody and then like be totally fine with being, that close to a direct business relationship with them?
Yes.
It's sickening. What the fuck is going on?
This voicemailer really, really hit on something I think we've all been missing. I don't think Trixie has been acting in her best interest lately.
You don't say.
I just can't believe it. It's true. It's true. Ethan Ralph is a terrible, heinous man who, in addition to all his many other personal failings, personally, cucked Trixie. The fiance cheated on Trixie with this man, but she's fine with being friends with Dick Masterson, who is buddies with Ralph because, well, I don't know why. Just whatever the reason. Yeah, it's true.
What a strange narrative being spun over there.
I think it's dead now. Next voicemail. Oh, I should have uploaded this sooner. The next one is called, Henlo Corgo 8. Ben's next PCPU lecture. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, Ben. If you guys ever do RadCon again, I have a great idea for your next lecture. Are you ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here goes. The Hottest Goss in the Universe, Volume 2, PCP Edition. Huh? Just think about it. Just think about it.
You're not the first person to suggest a PCP lore or history lecture. It's an idea. It's an idea.
I feel like the problem with it on a conceptual level is that the only people who would find it interesting are people who are already clued into it. Like, who's going to want to learn about this PCP show?
I mean, I didn't see that as a problem with the RFCK lecture, and I don't necessarily see that as a problem.
Yeah, but RFCK lecture is promoting like a fun Discord MMO. PCP lecture would be promoting
instead of
the history,
the nightmare that is the PCP.
Yeah. Why would you ever want to promote this podcast?
The lower key this is, the more successful it has the potential of being.
I don't think it's a terrible idea.
Part of me feels like it's disingenuous. Part of me feels it's a little disingenuous to do something on yourself. Like, if someone else did a PCP lecture, that'd be one thing.
But then they get it wrong.
I feel I kind of see what you mean. But nobody else is gonna do it.
Right.
Nobody else is gonna make a video being like,
would do that.
Yeah. We have to be the change we want to see in the world, maybe. Okay, the next one is called it's called Be Better. 3, 2, 1, go.
The truth is, Trixie hasn't said shit about Ben in months and months. All that's left is Ben obsessively sticking to the same talking points and cracking jokes to the applaud of a handful of people on Twitter. Call anyone who thinks you're being a massive loser a simp. That should make the emptiness go away.
I mean, I don't care, dude. If you don't think it's funny, if you don't think Trixie is funny, then that's okay. I guess you just don't see the humor in the situation, which is fine. Not everyone is cut out for the high level stuff. Okay. Not everyone understands dramatic irony. That's all right. Next voicemail is called Aetherion was on Shreddit. Lul kek omega lul kek g. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey guys, guess what? Did you know that incel dude Aetherion was actually on that show that you interviewed last episode? Yeah, it's true. I hope you guys don't believe in guilt by association. You know what it's like to have shitty people on your show.
What?
Also, fuck Christian and fuck Ben Sate for making his garbage-ass OC canon to Sonic 2. You ruin everything, you fucking dipshit!
What the fuck? Is that guy okay?
He's not okay.
He seems pretty mad.
God. Wow, okay, buddy.
Maybe the thing was a joke at the end.
Maybe.
I didn't hear.
You know what?
It's hard to tell these days.
when he came close to the mic and said, I didn't know what he meant there.
Let's just assume it was a goof. It was a weirdly delivered comedy sting. Yeah, I don't know who Aetherion is, other than people were saying he's like a racist incel who was
I saw a clip
Shreddit
show of some of his Discord messages. Very, very bad.
Yeah, he seems pretty bad. I'd never heard of him before. I don't know what else to say about it. Next voicemail is oh fuck, I forgot to fucking post it. Next voicemail is called Nate.
No, you did.
Wait, did I? Oh yeah, no, I did. Yeah, okay, yeah, the one that's 3.
You missed one.
You're right.
That's
you're right.
5
You're right. Okay.
seconds.
The one that's 5 seconds is called Nate's New Podcast in 5 Seconds. 3, 2, 1, go.
Am I so out of touch? No, it's the children who are wrong.
Is Gib, you listen to it. Is that an accurate summary?
They talk about YouTube and then video games, and I vaguely recall it being very like old hat conversation topics that have been talked about on the PCP and before. So
Nate
I was just
really
sort of
is
not really listening.
Nate really is very indignant sometimes that like video game is not like old video game.
That's unfortunate. Hopefully he changes his mind, opens his eyes, and comes
and just
comes to the modern day.
And plays
the Quake mod of the Slime Factory Quake mod.
Yeah, I think he could learn a lot if he just goes down to Krak Slime Factory and Quake. You can download it on my website, kirkissi.net.
Everything you need to know about game design. It teaches you in the first 10 seconds
New
of Krak
game
Slime Factory.
is old game. It's amazing.
Yeah, and in fact, also, just to plug, if you download it from my website, you can also get the map file and the WAD, which you can then open up in the editor in Trench Broom, and you can see how I made it, and you can make your own level based on the same assets.
You can modify the level as it exists.
Yeah.
You can tweak it. Oh, very nice. Very cool. Okay, next voicemail is called Easy Breezy Beautiful Tarbuck Transom. 3, 2, 1, go.
You ever get into a pool that's too cold, so you hold perfectly still and you can tolerate it for a while because you develop this aura around you of comfort, but as soon as you move, it's too cold again? Think about that, but with air. Fucking duh, a fan isn't a total replacement for air conditioning, but you can forgo having it run every 5 minutes if you supplement it with a fan, and you'll get the same effect for less money. Motherfuckers never heard of wind chill? Goddamn.
What?
I feel like this is in response to nothing, but I agree.
My air conditioner has a fan in it. It runs on an automatic temperature sensor that when it gets below a certain temperature, it turns on the air conditioner. And when it gets above that, or when it gets below that, it's just a fan.
The sensation of air moving, air pressure changing across your skin is enough to make you feel cooler.
I know.
And that's,
I know that.
Everyone knows that, so I don't know.
Is that controversial?
I don't know.
I don't get it. Big fan. Big fan stand, Tarbuck Transom. Okay. Next, the next voicemail is, this one came through some fucking Vocaroo secondary website. This one was uploaded via fast upload. It is called Snippet of Trixie Singing at a Music Show. It's taking a second. It's taking a second to up. Oh wait, no, I already uploaded it. There it is. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. It's that Trixie.
Yes,
I get it. Yes,
I can't even remember that she did a song, but I guess she did.
That's true.
I'm sure this is after I stopped watching.
Yeah, it's later on. I would believe.
Yeah.
When she was like a sort of main character.
Equestria Girls 2, Rainbow Rocks, right?
Oh,
is that what this is from?
The good one. The good one.
Yeah.
Next voice.
There's like 3 more.
Called...
I found out recently.
I know there was I knew there was at least one more, and I assumed there were at least 2. But like, there's the one where they do like the fucking school like athletics
school
contest.
Olympics, and then it also ends in like demonic something or other. They just don't have any good ideas for those things.
No, they did not.
Ending of the first Equestria Girls.
It was never a good idea to begin with. So
yeah, no, like you can have.
I stand by this. The second one is kind of good. The second one's kind of good. The first one is
that was
so
as good
bad.
as it was ever going to get. They should have stopped there, but they didn't.
It's the best thing they could have done with what they had, for sure.
I still found it to be boring compared to real movies.
Well, of course.
Definitely graded it on a curve.
This isn't cinema. This is
Where's my pulp?
Something else.
This is a toy commercial that's 2 hours long.
Next voicemail is called Big Chicken's Egg of quote penance. 3, 2, 1, go.
When I made that last voicemail, it was before Christine got arrested. I was asking to have her on the podcast, but it was before she got arrested, and then she got arrested, and you said you can't have her on because she's arrested. I'm sorry.
It's okay, Big Chicken.
Pog, soul.
Soul. I forgive you, Big Chicken. Nobody could have seen it coming.
It sounds like what a chicken would sound like if it was a human.
Soy! Pog, soy! When you pog too hard, that's when you soy. That's the line. Next one is called Damn It, Gib. 3, 2, 1, go.
Gib, stop fucking dying.
I'm trying.
Stop fucking dying. Quit it.
I mean,
have you considered just stop dying?
Just quit. Just
Control Z dying.
But I like dying though. It's fun.
I knew it. Are
you saying that you're the reason you're dying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must be something. Because if it was someone else, I would have an enemy to fight.
Ooh.
Next voicemail is called Ben Saint, more like Ben Gamed by Nate's new podcast, Lamau. 3, 2, 1, go.
Trixie's biggest problem, that will come back again and again to fuck up everything she does is, and always will be, that she is incredibly intellectually lazy. Complete and utter refusal to read up on or research anything. Bursting onto a scene where summarizing a plot while throwing in occasional nitpicks and shitty sketches was considered good criticism. She had obvious appeal as someone who tried to talk about cultural context, art history, motives, themes and the likes. But like with everything she touched, be it neurotyping, music or politics, she refused to read up on the most basic concepts and look further than what immediately occurred to her, opting to try to reinvent the wheel, trying desperately and failing to formulate theories that have been well established decades ago. Boogie Poplamau, through her weird lens of weed and internet addiction-induced brain rot. No wonder other essayists who came along after her run circles around her in terms of writing ability and analysis. Hope those twist teller rap shows pay good. Now gossip more about May, please. Also, where's Tom? I miss my boy.
My boy!
Tom's
I
right here.
agree.
Yo!
I agree with everything that you just said.
Yeah,
Yes,
my friend.
that was a
accurate.
pretty good summation.
Pretty good take.
Yeah, it was a succinct summary of the core issue that has always been
I think
there.
so. Yeah. Okay, next one. This one is Nate Head with Rage. It's a minute 30. 3, 2... Just like a Nate Head to fucking take a minute 30 to say what I'm sure they could say in 20 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, self-proclaimed Nate here. Not because Nate is a genius and Nate's a shad. Nate's a fucking gay boy. Everyone knows he's fucking...
True.
He cries at anime, he cries at musicals and shit. But he's at least tries to be a human being. And he at least has a fucking soul. And he's the only one who got his own relationship. And you guys are fucking garbage friends who allow these fucking wimps and cowards on the voicemails to shit on his content and shit when he's even there to defend himself. And you don't fucking lift an arm to defend your fucking friend and your fucking brother.
He's not
And Gib, listen to the beginning of the Virginity podcast and see how he talks about you and how he loves you and shit. And when he is not there, you fucking shit on his content and say, I don't get his name. Of course you don't fucking get it. You're fucking stupid. You're fucking fungus of a human being. The education system in the UK must fucking suck because you're so fucking stupid. When you're talking about lifting weights, instead just lift the fucking weight and not even move your arms and shit. And when you told this to Nate, he just laughed.
Well, yeah, it was
and he didn't even make fun of you. But when he is not there, you guys shit on him. And your comics fucking suck. No one's going to fucking read that shit.
Jesus.
You allow Munchie to say the N-word in the podcast when he was a minor. And you guys are fucking moron, garbage brother.
Damn, hold on. Got us there. Shit.
I hope you go to hell before you die.
It's so...
You go to hell before you die?
Than I thought.
At least he ended it with a funny Mario reference. He did end it with a funny you go to hell before you die. Wait, did he say he hopes we go to hell before we die?
I like the implication that like it would have been okay for Munchie to say the N-word in the podcast if he were an adult.
Yeah, I hope you go to hell before you die. Wow. Okay.
We're already in hell. We're in America.
This guy, okay, what did he say, like the Virginia or the Virginity podcast, Nate says? Okay, that was like 3 years ago. And like this guy's like you let the voicemails shit on Nate when he's not here to defend himself because he isn't here. He could fucking be here if he wanted to, and he chooses not to be. So like, why is that our fault, my guy? You're misplacing the blame here.
I mean, we've
goofy.
said multiple times we
goofy.
don't screen the voicemail, so it's not like we're allowing anything. It's just whatever shows up, shows up. You know. Like,
I'm not gonna.
Has anyone here actually like seriously been like fuck Nate? I don't think so.
I mean, a few. Occasionally
in voicemails.
Well, like,
No. I mean, have any of us been like, yeah, fuck Nate? I don't think anyone's been like that in his totality.
I think I'm pretty generous, honestly. Like I don't like I didn't watch
his Mickle video
the Mimical
because like
so
I don't know. I want him to make good videos, and it's sort of a shame when that one was so confusing and bad, and lots of other people felt it was. I was just talking about it. The Mickle video. It's a new one.
Did you see that, Tom?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a new.
It's hard. It's really hard to explain. Actually,
the basic thing is that it's a very long, meandering video of multiple different topics about the video game industry, which are at their core kind of basic, but they are elevated into seeming as if it's a big smart thing, and it was very confusing.
Okay.
I reject the idea that I was too dumb to figure it out.
Yeah. I'm kind of annoyed. I'm kind of annoyed at this guy. Is like, guys, Nate said he liked you one time 3 years ago, and now you allow criticism of him on your show? That's so unfair.
Yeah, I don't hate Nate or anything.
Dudes.
I don't know if
this guy if you
is
listen
like,
to the old episodes, we like
assuming...
joke and dunked on each other all the time.
I mean, my God, Nate has basically bailed on 2 podcasts with you, Gib. Nate doesn't come on the PCP anymore, and he's basically stopped doing the podcast. So, like, if he whatever, if he wants to defend himself, he can come on the show if he feels the need. Right?
I didn't even realize the podcast.
I don't.
Did it end?
I didn't like officially end, but they haven't done it.
Never
in
officially
months.
ended. It just there was.
I didn't know it wasn't going on anymore because, like, obviously I don't watch it because I haven't watched One Piece. So I don't want to spoil it for myself, but
it has been a while.
We
had
sometimes like taken like, oh shit, we haven't done an episode in a while. We'll do like 3 chapters this time, and it's just been one of those, but extended over a longer period of time, and to the point where people are like, well, it's over. I'm like, well, it never was intended to be over. But I did ask him at one point, and he said he was busy with editing. So I don't know. I guess I could ask him again.
True.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't get where this voicemailer is coming from, but I don't know.
He could have just. It really is like a longer form version of a thing that you could have just said "fuck you," and then that would have been a lot more
I do feel like it could have been half the length, right? I think I'm right on that. Next voicemail is called where was I? Wait, okay. I'm sorry. I uploaded the wrong one. Well, okay, the one that's there right now, 113, is called Hugh Janus. 3, 2, 1, go.
There is a non-0% chance that May is getting gunted at this very moment, feeling Ethan's sweaty, hairy belly resting on her spine, grinding her vertebrae together, as he forces his unimpressive pecker down her drab white pussy, or trussy, as I like to call it. Maybe he even has to stand on a footstool to reach her. Anyways, did you ever notice that in all green screen scenes in Nostalgia Critics The Wall, no one is wearing shoes? They're all in socks, sometimes even with colorful, funny designs on them. That's
No, why'd you cut off? I wanted to hear more.
Well, I guess they're wearing socks because they don't want to get mud on the green screen. Why would they have mud on their shoes?
Well, they're probably just filming indoors, and they don't wear their shoes indoors. Something that simple. And they didn't consider it.
They're just like, yeah, we're all just wearing socks. That is really funny that they're all wearing socks all the time, because Doug was like, don't take your shoes off before you step on the green screen floor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow,
it's too big to fit in the washing machine. You can't wash it. You guys we got to be careful.
Fair enough, but like, then just crop the scene so you don't see the feet.
Right.
Oh my god. Well, that was a treat. Next voicemail is called Robo Sam Tokyo Robot Chef. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, can I have the Big Mac?
Where's your foreskin? Where's your foreskin, Ben?
We still get voicemails like this?
Why would you cut off your foreskin willingly, Ben? Did you know, Ben? Your foreskin is the secret ingredient to my soup. I am creating Ben Safe Foreskin Soup. The other ingredient is the sweat of your feet.
Is this the villain of Phantom's Revenge?
You see, if we were gonna do a PCP lecture, it's this kind of stuff that'd be really interesting to try to integrate. It's like, yeah. Then we got to the weird voicemail arc, and
it never stopped.
I understand where this guy's coming from. He wants to make soup, and I want to keep my anus, my taint sweat. So, clearly there's a conflict of interest there. He's a natural foil for me. But it's just gonna have to be what it is. The conflicts just keep on mounting. Next one is called Born Chinwap. 3, 2, 1, go.
This is Ben's weekly reminder to not watch One Piece.
It was never about watching One Piece. It was about reading it.
Does anybody ask about watching One Piece?
I would never watch One Piece. People do tell me to read One Piece. You must have meant not read One Piece. Well, wait. No, he's right. I should not watch One Piece. So he's right, actually. I should read it. Yeah, okay. Well, that's fine then. That makes total sense. Next voicemail is called... Oh, I already put it there. Bad Comments Award Show number 1. 3, 2, 1, go.
Forgive me for not knowing the lore, because there was supposed to be a fucking lecture about this shit that's just never coming out now. But the PCP is originally the Horseshoe Crew, right? And that's the Jesse thing. It's the Horseshoe, Drowning in Horseshoes channel. So therefore, if the PCP had originally been on a specific person's channel, wouldn't it have been on the Drowning in Horseshoes channel?
It was not a group formed as Jesse being the leader. It was just a cool name, and we were all friends.
But the first Horsecast was on Jesse's channel.
The first Horsecast was Jesse and Trixie. And then I was there. Yeah. And then T-Bap was there.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think there was ever any real chance it was going to be housed on that channel, though. Next one is called Making Comics is Hard. 3, 2, 1, go.
Have you ever considered, so that, making a comic doesn't take literally forever?
Tommy J is sending too many voicemails. It has to be said.
There's 3 artists there. You have Ben the artist, Gib the artist, and Tom the artist. So is it so insane to have one of you write a comic and the other one draw it? Or one of you writes a comic and 2 people split up drawing it? I don't even care if the fucking art styles clash. That'd be
what
cool
are you talking
to know
about?
Which panel was the Gib panel and which panel was the
Tom
panel and which panel was the Ben panel. You know what I mean? That doesn't sound like a very bad idea to me, to be completely honest.
Yeah,
sure.
It'd be cool and it'd be funny.
I don't know, man. I don't know. The answer is because we don't want to. Okay, we just don't want to. I don't know. I got people. I'm paying people with Radcon funds to do the Dojin. It's fine. Next voicemail is called I'm working on. I got my own shit. I want to get a Phantom's Revenge. I don't want to spend. I don't want to spend this fucking month drawing the PCP Dojin.
I guess drawing comics is really easy, and I was wrong. So, sir, please draw it for us and send the completed. You have 1 week. Next voicemail, link us the completed comic.
It's just like Tobias in Animorphs. By the way, check out my appearance on the Animorph in Time podcast, by the way. But it's just like Animorph says, just because you're a bird and you're made to fly and flap your wings doesn't mean it's easy. Doesn't mean it's not hard and exhausting to flap your wings and fly unless you find a juicy thermal to ride around the sky, right?
Comics is like 99% flapping your wings, trying to keep yourself in the air. And it's only really once you finish the last panel that you finally hit that thermal updraft. Until then, it's just all grind.
It's all grinding until you get a publisher until you get Diamond Publishing to distribute you nationwide. It's all flapping until then.
It really is.
Next voicemail is called Starbucks Ransom. 3, 2, 1, go.
Tarbuck? That doesn't sound very trans or handsome. Huh, get a life.
Yeah.
Oh, transom.
Sure.
I get it.
Why not? Next voicemail is called Bad Comet Award Show 272. Shred it. 3, 2, 1, go.
You know something, Solaru C? I guess you could see I'm getting red right now, man, because your live tweet ass comments about how Ben's a lib are annoying me to the point of facial discoloration, dude. Next time you should explain what exactly your problem is, brother, because your groveling attitude will do you no favors at the next Royal Rumble. So what you gonna do when Procrastimania runs wild over you?
That's a great comment. What are you talking about? Tommy J, what are you on? That comment ruled. First of all,
these are all the same guy?
Procrastinmania is a pretty good name.
Yeah, these are all Tommy J. You send too many voicemails, dude. We fucking been over this. Okay, fucking get a grip.
What if Tommy J is just Krak with putting on a voice?
Yeah, this is it's his alter ego. So okay, I love that this one threatens the other commenter with defeat in the Royal Rumble. Like, that's the consequence for making a bad comment, as it should be. Second of all, okay, I don't want to single out Solaru, but two weeks ago, so Solaru does have this habit. Solaru will, first of all, I love Solaru. Solaru is very supportive on the Shekels for Heckle streams, so I'm not trying to call them out, but they do make comments where they will just be like, Ben, what you said about this was a lib take. You had a lib take about this thing. And then sometimes they just won't elaborate. And they did this 2 weeks ago. This was when we were talking about gender stuff and how I said that, like, you know, maybe I should be a they because, like, because gender stuff, right? I said that thing about, like, maybe I should be a they. Maybe that would be the right thing to do. And Solaru commented, like, Ben, your take about gender was really lib, and you should, you know, rethink it. And they didn't explain it at all. And honestly, that one really kind of annoyed me because I genuinely don't think I said anything that I should be embarrassed about. And yeah, fucking, if you got a problem with what I said, tell me what it was. I don't know. I guess I was holding this in. I've been holding this in for 2 weeks, that one comment just rubbed me the wrong way and it got under my skin. Fuck. Tommy J, don't make so many voicemails. Somebody else talk.
I can't remember what was said, so it doesn't matter.
I said I think gender is fake. I said I think gender is fake, so maybe they is the way to go. But also, I don't want to do that because it's hard.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's maybe the declaring gender to be fake when clearly people do care about gendered expression. So
people care about all kinds of fake shit.
so it's like it's more correct to say I don't care about what my gender expression is. I don't see things as male or female. I just do what I want, and then that would be a non-binary action. It would be a non-binary mode.
The trouble you get into is the same thing as saying, well, you know, I hate all the racism, and in fact, race isn't even real. I don't believe in it. You know, you go down that path, and it's just becomes
That's true, though. I don't. It is fake. Race is also fake and
like
socially constructed.
The experience that people feel because of the social construct is real, and so
I didn't say that it's not real.
No, I know, but like that's probably where they're coming from.
Yeah, you're probably right. Well, yeah, okay, whatever. Just don't bully me, commenters.
I'll kill you.
Just don't bully me, and we won't have any more of these little problems. Next one is called I don't feel like hooking up the good mic for this one. 3, 2, 1, go.
They should make a magazine that's just pictures of poor people looking real sad. And they can call it Vanity Unfair.
Yeah.
The idea of a magazine with just poor people in it was what made me laugh. I don't know if that's appropriate.
That's the good shit. That's what I'm here for. Next one is called Bad Comments Award Show 2 Waifus. 3, 2, 1, go.
I use the term best girl, best guy, or sometimes best person, because I don't like the connotations of non-consensual ownership that come along with the term waifu. Australia Leaf Green, you thought you had a fantastic moral wink in the making with this comment, didn't you? Thought you could look down on everyone from the top of the pile, the one person educated enough to know that waifu was a misogynistic term. But there's one problem, one little thing to slip you up. You're wrong. You got your little factoid backwards. Kanai is the term with the connotations of ownership, and waifu was the modernized loanword that replaced it. Bet you feel real smart now, huh?
I mean, waifu is still... It's the same thing, kind of.
I think it's kind of the same thing. If you think that wife is a term that connotes sexist ownership, then I guess
people
you could
talk about it in an
waifu.
ownership way. It's like, oh, they're mine. You can't have them. Like.
Well, I mean, when it's a fictional character that can't, then
I know
yeah.
it's innocent enough, but if you're gonna criticize it for being misogynistic, I don't think that's incorrect.
Like in real life, ideally, a person who is a wife, is married, is, doing that of their own volition, right? So it's not, we don't... But if it's a fictional character, you have to declare it for them, because they don't have agency, they're fake. They don't have... they can't make the decision. So, I don't know, whatever. I don't fucking care. Next voicemail is called... Wait, sorry, I lost track of the voicemails.
Gonna have to go from the top. Listen to all of them again.
Yeah, sorry. It's Bad Comment Award Show 3, Steven Universe. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah. Wait, okay.
I really didn't like you guys simplifying the characters down to literally just rocks and over-sexualizing them. Rebecca Sugar put time and effort into each and every one of them, and you just say, wow, I love to bang amethyst. Fucking disgusting. You know, Miss Anna, it's just so precious the way you come down here and get so upset about the mistreatment of fictional characters by these big, scary internet
can you just
guys
skip
on
any
their
more Bad Comment
podcast.
Award show?
Yeah, I think the bit. I mean, the bit relies on. First of all, the voice terrible.
The fact that they didn't stop the voice when they stopped reading the comment as well.
Their voice is just the voice they're making fun of.
I just don't want these are not entertainingly bad comments. These are just asinine, irritating, pointless comments, and I just don't want to hear them.
I feel like this is just insulting and annoying to the listeners.
Yeah. I'm done with it. Yeah, I'm done with it.
You gotta find nuggets of really bad comments and have a funny take.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, it's not every episode is gonna have a fucking jewel of a goofy bad comment. It's just not gonna be universal. The next voicemail, mercifully, is a Imgur link to Yggers Anonymous here.
Why is Sarah's head there?
I don't know. I don't think she is one. And I don't know who that goth girl is on the right either.
I would imagine that is a Toho something or other. But I don't know. Some sort of anime thing.
I like it, but I don't think I'm getting the intent behind this one. I feel like I'm missing something. But nevertheless, love your work, voicemail Imgur art man.
Yes.
Next,
can all the voicemails just be images? They're so much quicker.
This is the last episode. There was this person did the really good virgin voicemailer versus Chad voicemail image poster, and it's absolutely true.
It really is.
It's just. Next voicemail is called, sorry, I got it here. Next voicemail is called, Sorry, It's Bad.
Oh, great.
Wait, no. Sorry. Yeah, no, sorry. The next one is called Applejack. This is called Sorry, It's Bad will come later. Right. Applejack. 3, 2, 1, go.
Howdy, Phantom Horn. It's me, Applejack. Now that the dimensional merge has happened, every pony lives in the same dimension. Ain't that something? I think me, you, Twilight and Tech should collab. We should open a cider stand. I'll handle the apples. You can do the art and graphics. If this sounds like a darn tootin' good idea to you, send me a message on Twitter.
Applejack, I love you.
Applejack with a Twitter.
Get in on it.
Applejack is a dependable pony who would not bail on a business that we started together. So I think it's a sound
inquiring.
investment.
It's a serious offer.
Absolutely, Applejack won't waste my time. I'm down. Let's strike a deal. Let's take out a mortgage together.
Oh god, Slime and Punishment will never end. There'll just be a whole new pony arc.
Phantom Horn gets married to Applejack,
Slime
and that's
and Punishment
season 2.
epilogue.
He brings Applejack to New Los Angeles City, and she becomes she rises through the ranks and becomes like a mining tycoon, right? I think she would start a co-op. She would start a mining co-op to resist the dominating capitalist power of
Wouldn't
Slime
she
Corp.
Do the farming? What do you call it? The reaping and sowing stuff?
I think that if she were thrust into a new situation and she had to make I think she would take up whatever industry was like. No, maybe she would grow the apples. I don't know. I was thinking maybe she would just do what's more practical. Yeah, no, she's naturally she's apple.
She could find a way to fashion apples out of slime and sell those. They'd be like acid flavored.
Candy apples dipped in slime.
Dire apples. They already grow dire apples in New Los Angeles.
Oh, well,
City.
perfect.
Major cash crop. Next voicemail is called A Belated Apology. 3, 2, 1, go.
I realized that if you play that 20-second clip of Trixie singing, you might get a copyright strike.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Too late.
I just wanted to be funny.
Too late. Oh, are we gonna get a copyright strike from that?
From Pony, probably.
It's definitely possible.
Possible.
Eleazar, I don't know, fucking scramble the audio or whatever. Or just
pitch shift it, delete it, and then add it back in, reverse it, reverb.
Cut it down to be like 2 seconds long.
Add a noise gate that's extremely high.
Yeah. Next voicemail, and we're getting down to the end, by the way.
Thankfully.
I think we've got 3 left. The next one is called Twilight. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, Phantom Horn, it's me, Twilight Sparkle. I've been a big fan of T-Bap for years, but I've never gotten the chance before to tell you. You're like my third favorite MLP creator, just behind KP and Dr. Wolf. You never got as good as them, did you, Betty? Why'd you quit the fandom? Don't you like our show? Why do you hate me? I used to love you, and now you hate me. I'm never watching T-Bap again.
No, please don't change that channel, Twilight.
Speaking of Dr. Wolf, I don't know if anyone's keeping their finger on the pulse, because I certainly aren't. But for some reason, in my recommended,
is there news?
There was like an 1:45 Dr. Wolf video, like with like an actual thumbnail, like commissioned art or something, and I had no idea what I was looking at, and I was too afraid to click it.
Okay.
Coward.
There's a nearly 2-hour Dr. Wolf epic floating around on YouTube.
What is it? Does it look like a review of something?
Look. I don't know.
Wait, hold on.
I was too afraid to look. I was on my phone on the web app because
could be the latest magnum opus.
See if I can find it again.
This is I'm looking at his channel. He's got all of his latest videos are like 2 minutes long.
Are they shorts?
There's some karaoke
it's YouTube
videos.
recommended, so it could have been old as fuck. I don't even know now. You're taking the wind out of my sails. But I
don't see anything like that in the last several months on his channel.
What could be old? That would be that long.
Can we search
Tom,
by...
you should have clicked it. It's gone.
I should have. Now I'm upset. There was a fucking...
You know, it's all part of the dimensional merge. Right?
Really
That's from an alternate universe.
No.
Was it The Keepers of Discord full movie?
I don't know. I'll look for it. If I can find it, I'll link it. But
or
it
any
was
D&D epilogue part 1.
This one
there needs to be an option to filter uploads by length. I think we've reached that point of YouTube where that'd be a valuable search metric.
I agree. I have never seen this before, but I guess there's a full movie on his channel, and it's 5 years old. And I
guess he's been doing this for a while. Then never mind. I guess it's not news.
There's TF2 analysis Red vs. Blue, the movie.
Ooh,
2
that was
hours,
not
17 minutes.
Of course, Dr. Wolf has been doing this. He's been doing this since
He's still doing
Teabag
gangbusters with numbers. MLP Generation 5 from 3 months ago, 252K views.
They're all still there.
Wow.
Somehow.
He just uploads like reaction stuff to like new G5 news. And yeah, he's
I guess
just
it
like
just shows that there's still interest there, which means if we do an episode on the movie, we'll get all those sick brony views. They're still out there.
I will never get over the staying power of the TF2 aspect of the fucking analysis community.
I was rewatching Sonichi 102, and I wish I say it, but I wish I had emphasized it more, just how funny it is that Chris was at the panel for the TF2 thing, which has Phantom Horn in it, and then Phantom Horn is also the protagonist of Slime and Punishment, which is the canon end of Sonichu now. Because Sonichu's over, but Slime and Punishment's canon, so Slime and Punishment is the canon ending. It's so what a bizarre coincidence. I don't know. It all, like I said in the lecture, the threads of fate. What a tangled web they weave.
I think the most interesting thing to take away from this is that for some reason YouTube decided that a X-year-old video, apparently from a channel I've watched maybe one video on my entire life, was somehow relevant to me 2 days ago.
I can't believe. I mean, you weren't watching.
No, of course
you weren't. You weren't watching Dr. Wolf back in the day.
No,
I had my finger on the pulse of that shit.
Well,
I was when the Moment with Dr. Wolf series started. I was like, I gotta get it on, and I did, and it worked.
Well, shit.
I guess it shows what you know.
I've made a lot of mistakes in my life.
On the
so
ground floor. I did the first animation for the Moment with Dr. Wolf.
Damn.
With Voice of Reason, right?
With voice,
damn.
The thing about that, what Moment with Dr. Wolf became is kind of awful, but like what it started as, like that video, I kind of like it because it's sort of like knowingly silly and like funny on purpose. It's like written for comedy.
Yeah,
it's like
Voice of Reason wrote it to be like what if therapy, but I'm insane and you're the therapist, Dr. Wolf. And Dr. Wolf was like, I am a therapist, and then he ran with that.
And it's a perfectly good and funny like idea for like a skit about these characters. But, you know, then it eventually becomes this accountant fucking like genuinely like giving life advice to like bronies who are like, Doctor, I'm afraid of becoming irrelevant as I age. And it's like, oh God. Fuck. Yeah. Those are my thoughts on that.
Epic.
We got one
I'm sorry, audience, that I dragged out the final voicemail longer than it needed to be.
No, there's two more actually.
Oh, never mind. I take my apology back. I owe you nothing.
Wait, okay. This is the one that's uploading now. The one that ends in 2-6 is called. This is sorry, it's bad. Okay, here we go.
Great.
3, 2, 1, go.
How was your conversation about Isabel Laureata? I think it is.
Who?
How it's pronounced? How was your conversation about that earlier? And
what?
Yeah, just one thing. Chris is gonna get Upstein.
What?
Thanks.
Who is Isabel Laureata?
Is that a G5 pony?
Oh, wait. I think that might be the girl who allegedly like was like convincing Chris to do the stuff. I think that might be. Chris is gonna get. First of all, it's Epstein, and I don't know. Probably not, but like I don't know. Whatever. Okay. The last one is called "Help! I Was Raised by Bronies." 3, 2, 1, go.
I was watching Lyra's song as a little nostalgia trip, and like I realized something. I was watching T-Bap when I was like 11. Is that horrifying? Is that like horrifying?
Yes.
Like, is it horrifying to know that someone has grown up with your content? Because I think it's horrifying. I'm scared.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
terrified. I'm scared.
I feel like we had this
Watch Odd
revelation.
Taxi, you piece of shit. I hate you, Ben Siegel.
Yeah, okay.
Whoa, Odd Taxi.
Yeah.
Odd Taxi is pretty sick.
People have been telling me in the voicemails to watch Odd Taxi for months now, and I just don't want to. It just doesn't look interesting.
It's good. I don't know if it'd like be your thing, but it is good.
It doesn't look like my thing. I don't know why people think I would like it.
I definitely didn't pick up any like this is a Ben Saint thing vibe from it, but it's just a decent show that I haven't finished because I fell behind. But it's cool.
Sure. Yeah, it's horrifying. I guess it's not that surprising that some 11-year-olds who have been watching pony content.
But it's still weird.
It is weird because I remember I've been.
So what? They must be like 17 now.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know how young the youngest was. Well, I know one person who is.
I mean, there must have been at least a few really little kids.
One person who watched me, who I'm now friends with, has only just turned 18. So that was wacky. When I learned how young they were, I was like, "What?" Huh? And it was weird because like I was uploading on YouTube thinking, yeah, people are my age, right?
Of course,
people are just my age. There are no children here. But of course, it's a pony show.
It's because
find it.
Age sneaks up on you. Like, because like back when we started using the internet, we were young, and so like no one else younger than us could use it. But that's not the truth.
I said
anymore,
the fuck word. I said so many of the fuck words, and children were saying them.
Sad, but
that's
true.
pretty funny though.
I mean, jeez. Well, we have to go back. We just have to go back. You, a viewer, voicemailer, go back to being 11, and I'll go back to being 27 or something, and we can try again. All right, this run didn't work out so well, but we can try again. I think. Shit, that's it. That's the last voicemail.
What a note to end on. We're all old.
Well,
we were terrible role models because we never were trying to be in the first place.
We let Munchie say the N-word on the podcast, even though he was a minor.
Yeah,
and that's. I mean, it's funny to. I mean, it's funny that he said that in that way, but he's also kind of right. Like that was kind of
1,000% actually.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lesson learned.
Lesson 0. That's it, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Is that it? Are we at an end?
I think so.
I'm looking at Dr. Wolf thumbnails.
Oh well, that's how you know it's over. Then that's how you know there's no more. Okay, well, God, send a voicemail to speakpipe.com/PCB voicemail.
Do we really want to tell them to keep doing that? Should we really continue to incentivize that at the end of every episode?
But not that many. Don't send a lot.
Don't voicemail an episode.
Probably one. Probably
one
keep
good
it to
voicemail
one voicemail
instead of trying to make 10 terrible ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Next. The patreon.com/the Pro Crastinators. We have Eleazar has finished editing. You're not going to believe this. 3 bonus episodes are ready to release. We have 3 of them in the can that will be out soon. I know. I can't believe it.
It's amazing.
That's so much content for only $5. Only $5 on patreon.com/the Pro Crastinators. No, hardly anything. And I guess that's it. Go watch Shadok's RFCK cartoon. Love Web. Are we done?
Yeah.
We're good.
Okay, bye.
Crackyeasy.net.
Do it.
Yes.
Play the Quake
Doom.
map.
I mean Quake.
Go play Quake.
Slime. Quake. Bye.
Goodbye.
Okay, that was great. Great ending.